Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs,
We are awake, we are not alone.
if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset,
We are striving for more.
start taking iron today.
Thank God it's Friday.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Oh, yeah. It's Friday, my dudes, and a happy Friday to you all. The air is cool and crisp. The leaves are turning. And Cammy's running around naked, trying to shake her boobies. Welcome to Have No Sphere, right here on the Ironworx Media YouTube channel. And we have got so little planned for you this evening. It's going to be something. But I don't know what. Let's jump in and say hello to everybody. Starting off with Mr. Zack Zabala. You might know him from his channel, Good Times for All, here on the YouTubes. Zachary, sir, how you doing?
Hey there, Josh. Hey, everybody. I am doing so much better. I can't hear my ear I can't feel my ear every time I swallow. So our bodies are amazing. If you just let them do what they do, they kind of fix themselves, unless we get in the way and start sticking stuff into our body and, we don't need to poke and prod places just because they hurt. Sometimes if you just give it some time. Yeah, every time I try to clean out my ears, when they're like this, I always made it worse. Always. It turned a 2-day ordeal into like a 2-week ordeal every time. So I've learned, call it wisdom, call it whatever, just finally catching on, that if I don't do anything, my ear fixes itself. It'll have too much wax in there. The wax bubbles up and gets warm when I sleep, and it comes out. It's amazing. Like it was meant to do that all by itself, almost. So yeah, I listened to myself this time, like I always have with my ears, because I've always had ear problems. But I feel so much better. So much better. Just, yeah. I love these meat suits that we have. I'm very, very grateful for them.
Well, I'm trying to get Rockfin up and going, but for some reason it doesn't want to give me the option to go live. So I've just been sitting here trying to figure out how to get that son of a bitch up and running. So forgive me, but I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, so much better. Thank you. Yeah. It's nice to it didn't really hurt anymore. I only had like half a day of that, but just like every time I would swallow, I would feel that little part of the canal in my ear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, stop doing that, please. Just stop. And yeah, our bodies are amazing. Just let them do what they do and get out of the way.
Just get out. Move, bitch. Get out the way. So that moves us right along to Mrs. Kimmy Nodell. You might know her from her little channel, Aisling717 here on the YouTubes. Kimmy, how you doing? Y'all dressed? She's here, I promise. I know she's here somewhere.
I am here on mute doing the Ricky mistake, the ultimate Ricky mistake. I don't know if you can all see, but I am very much dressed.
Good.
In my awesome Austin Melodome shirt. Thank you very much. I am styling.
You know how many of those Melodome shirts I just happened to see around Flattoberfest and all the pictures and videos and stuff? That was really, really awesome to see all those Melodome shirts.
I went Saturday, morning. As soon as I got there and saw them Saturday, I was like, hey, nope, we don't have that size anymore. It was like they were already out. People love the Melodome, dude. Those group of guys over there and everything they do is just awesome. I mean, you can tell that they all are full of love and they're being, there's not an untruthful bone in their body when they're speaking to you about, it's just obvious. It's just a great group of guys. And that just showed it. Like you said, I saw so many new Melodome shirts. How'd you get that already? Yeah.
I have much love to Rico, who sent me my first one and delivered it. And then much love to, I don't know, was it Austin or Kaylee that made sure that I had the last special edition one. Again, this is really special. It's one of a kind, and they brought it to me because it was crazy. And I really, really thank them because it's super cool. I'm not sure. This is I think this is the one that Rico got for me, but I do have the other one that I will have to feature for it if I'm right on this. But I do, again, love the Melodome and the Melodome shirts. They're the best. Kaylee made sure. Yeah, Kaylee did make sure. We love Kaylee. I have a story before we get it up. I have a story. I'm going to take me off of camera. Oops, I got a double on it. But Kaylee Land Austin, this is the best. I love your wife, and I always have. And I would follow her, and she was on Kaylee Land. And for some reason, you know how I named Karen World Karen Land? I thought Kaylee Land was like her territory, her land. And I think it was unfortunately when her father passed away. And I saw that his last name was Land, but I finally, El Blondie, I put it together that really is, she's Kaylee Land. That was her last name growing up. And
not just a destination to go to.
Not just a destination to go to, not just her and her voice and her whole world. And I love Kaylee Land. I love Kaylee Land as a person, Kaylee Land, and I love Kaylee Land as a destination and the energy she spreads on all of her boys. And she does. She's surrounded by boys. But Austin gets his energy and does everything he can do because of her. And everybody should send Kaylee lots of love and lots of encouragement because it takes it all. And you can tell she's bringing it. Yes, Kaylee Land. Yes, I love your Kaylee Land. But okay, all done with Kiami. We'll do more on Flattoberfest because it was the best. And Vividness 420 and Liz and the people watching on the Ariel channel. We'll go back over that afterwards. Thank you for being there. I saw it after the fact and it meant the world to me. So thank you for being there on the demo. I love you guys. Liz, you were with me in heart. You were with me so much. I want to hands on with you so much and to go out and dig for rocks and to do things. I would like nothing more, Liz. Okay, it's not my turn anymore, so take the mic away.
Well, I did want to give a quick shout out while we're here to Billy Tano in chat, who recently had a birthday this past week, I do believe. So happy birthday to you, sir.
Happy birthday.
And that shall bring us right along to Mr. Walter Johnson. He's got a little channel here on YouTube called Flat Earth Head. Walter, what are you doing? Are you convalescing or are you coming down?
I am comatose.
Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe we need to add that while I set up.
No nap today. Way too many honeydews on the honeydew list. So I'll be probably a lot quieter than normal. The nurdles will help that be a fact, as we discussed, because it was a nurdle day. But I'm here. We had a great show this morning. Alex popped in, hung out, got me on to some new stuff, some new apps with.
That's what you were doing all day.
Yeah,
That's
right.
why you didn't get a nap.
How did you know? How did you know, But
how are you? How are you doing, Josh? How are you feeling, sir?
I
know you were convalescing, right?
I'm the one convalescing. Yeah. I think I'm to the point where I think I'm feeling better. I really don't like the muscle relaxers, but I think now I'm to the point where I feel like maybe I need some muscle relaxers. And the ones they gave me just weren't really cutting it. So now I'm debating in my head, sort of, do I step up the muscle relaxers and try to just knock it out? Or do I just keep going with these little low dose shit and try to get the long haul, heal it in? But it doesn't seem to be working too well. I almost need to take fucking time off work because all the stuff I do at work involves my lifting my arms and using all the muscles in my back and my neck and my shoulders that are causing me problems. So that makes it a little bit difficult. Other than that, things are pretty quiet around here. Bunny's getting big. Bunny's getting colorful, interestingly enough. When we got the little bunny, she was
seasonal?
I don't think so. I think she's just getting older, near as I can tell. I mean, we knew she wasn't going to be like one of those purebred white, like lab bunnies that they want to Maybelline tests mascara on. Because she had like a little gray on her ears and gray on her nose and her face. But the gray just kept getting darker and darker. And then now she's getting like some browns and some caramel colors in her. She looks a little bit like Dixie calls her a little toasted marshmallow, because that's kind of what she looks like. Little dark,
of a different color.
Little brown, little white. But other than that, yeah, things are just, humming along. Still waiting on my insurance check for my car. That will make things considerably easier when I can have transportation again. But
yeah, that's kind of crazy that
it takes that long.
We don't have this system down yet. Like, you don't have a car. You use a car every day. Someone smashed your car. Their insurance should, you would think, therefore, the next day provide you with a car.
Yeah, well, there's a perfectly logical explanation for that, Zach. It's just not one I want to get into on the air due to insurance reasons.
Yeah.
But I will say that there was a very good reason that they had to stop and wait and not issue a check right away.
Okay.
Because there were other I's that needed to be dotted and T's that needed to be crossed before they could do that, so they could determine exactly what the final amount would be. There were 3 cars involved. Another car that was involved, and they were having a hard time tracking him down. And since I'm not going to tell them where they are, because that's just, oh, you're going to repair my truck? Cool. It was a rental truck anyway, but you want to pay for it. Go ahead. Now that's coming out of my end. So if I just keep my mouth shut and don't tell them, then they're not going to find him. Then they're not going to repair the truck. And then that's just more money in my pocket, because fuck them. It was a rental truck. They have rental insurance. But
well, I'm glad it's starting to work out for you. Hopefully you'll be vehicled here soon.
Hopefully so. Sucks because I really liked that Ford Edge.
Are you going to try to get another one of those? Not sure.
The market is so freaking wonky right now.
Oh, it's ridiculous right now, man.
Like, for all intents and purposes, I could get just as much, probably more, for my car now from the insurance company after they total it out. The money they give me for it may be more than what I originally paid for it when I bought it. It's quite possible.
Yeah, the price of used vehicles is just ridiculous right now.
I mean, the KBB book for it is probably half of what they're going for now. So they want to try to cut me a check for the KBB value. That's going to be an issue when they're going for twice as much on the market. So it's crazy. Yeah. $10,000-$12,000 for a 2012 Ford Edge. Nuts.
Crazy.
That's what I paid for it 3 years ago. 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
So I need some IT support. I don't know if Jaren's home. My cat stood on my keyboard. I saw a screen pop up for a second. It then went away, and now I can't type any longer. I have a suspicion it's something to do with that little thing that happens where if you hold a key down a long time, it brings up that little choice thing of like, did you mean to do that? And if you want to do that, we're going to set this in motion for
Your
you to have
sticky
that.
keys.
That. How do I make that go away, people?
I don't know.
Let me see if Jaren's up.
Press Control Windows and see if that does anything.
Okay. Be catified. I'm not ignoring anyone in chat. I've been trying to type hello since before we went live.
Or just try the Windows button.
I would figure it out any second now. And now I see my name all over the place. I see you lovely people. I will type. It will happen. Quiet Walt. I see you, dog. You're funny. And I will be quiet, damn it. I've discovered when I need extra nerdling, it tends to quiet me up. And that's rare. It takes a lot to shut my frickin' mouth. So, yeah. You go. Better Farms. I see you taking a nerdle as well there, Mellow Dome.
Try Altascape. Did that do anything?
Dude, I got the coolest Flair Farm shirt. It says...
Now I'm hearing a ticking noise, too, when I...
Okay, get away. Move out of the room right now.
No, when I hit my fucking key, like it's a mechanical keyboard, and it's not. What the fuck has my cat done, man?
Said, I don't want you to do a show tonight, Dad. But yeah, the back of
I'm not going to get it together, Jess. This will be the rest of the show. Me with no keyboard and quietly not talking. Cut the blue wire. Oh, they're both blue. I'm using a fluorescent tube.
I'm colorblind, you asshole.
Oh, I'm going to have to call somebody. Paul, no, but he's not around. Oh, I can't type anything in Google to say sticky keys. Fix it.
And I'm so glad you're quietly not talking this afternoon, Walter. Not like this morning when you were just so loudly not talking.
Mm-hmm. That's how I do it. Damn it, man. I
sure wish we had a better show for you guys today, but unfortunately, this is going to be about the extent of it.
This is about it. Yeah, between the...
You did it. You've contacted extraterrestrial life, I think.
I didn't do that. What that was not me.
You've permanently bonded with your computer, I think.
How do you turn off tick keys? Oh,
Need input.
Shift key 5 times. Press the shift key 5 times.
That cat went nuts, dude.
Shake your left leg twice.
Yeah, no, this fucking keyboard is fried, dude. I don't know what you thought. It's fried me. You press 2 function keys. Oh, shit.
Nope, I love this live on-air IT support.
Yeah, no, this is not happening. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm out. I will reset my computer and hope that fixes it. It won't, but I'm going to try that since I have no other option here. I'll be back.
All right, good luck.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, in my opinion, that was the best flat Earth meetup I've ever been to. This
It's a
last weekend.
bold statement, sir.
I know it. It seems like they just keep getting better and better and better, these Flattoberfest and stuff. Karen's really got how she wants it to go down. And she's been through it multiple times now, so she knows, okay, I'm not going to make this mistake again, and I'm not going to make this one again, and we're going to spread it out more, and we're going to have, it was just, instead of one day of all presenters and then one day of music, she mixed that up, and it was just awesome. And I saw so many new faces. So many people came up and said, like, I just heard about this 4 months ago. And then we heard about this and we're like, no way. And they were normal people,
What?
Yeah. It's just really neat seeing this spreading so much.
I was thinking about that this past weekend. About all the blue dots heading in there to South Carolina and the change in the scenery and all that craziness and what it was like when we started. And just it's really not even that novel of a thing anymore. There's still a few stragglers that maybe haven't heard of it, but for the most part, we've managed to get it out there in the mainstream, which is no small feat.
I didn't think it would happen this quick.
It was one of those things where I was on the fence. It could have gone either way. It was either going to happen way faster than I thought, or it was going to take way longer than I thought. But it has seemed to be about right where I would have assumed it would have taken normally, like a normal thing. Like when I first found out about chemtrails, I would have thought, once I start screaming and other people see it and they'll see it and they'll start screaming and pretty soon everybody's going to be screaming and then something's going to change. Not going to happen right away. It might take a few years, but eventually. That didn't take off, but who thought Flat Earth did? And it wasn't like an all at once avalanche, thank God, because anger and all that good stuff. But it's happening nonetheless. And at a pretty good clip, considering some rando flat earther just happened to make his own freaking app. And then somewhere on that app, there's a whole nother part of an app that you can access that allows you to connect with some other flat earthers. And that small percentage of that small percentage of that small percentage equals 80,000 motherfuckers. And that's no small thing. Or damn near 80,000. I think he's real close to it.
Well, we had 168, I think, before last Tuesday.
This is what I wanted to ask.
Before Flattoberfest happened. 212.
Holy shit, that's good shit. I like it.
Greenville is blue. Like, Greenville is blue dot city. We woke up so many people in Greenville over that weekend. And I would say they were doing activism too. Monday, I think there was people out doing activism even before that. I know Just Jack and Alex, Critical Inception, he's always out doing activism and stuff. So yeah, it went from 168 to 212 in a weekend. That's a nice little bump.
Yeah, it is.
It's just going to get more and more and more.
So I was sitting out in the parking lot at lunch, sitting on the ground, basically, in the parking lot, on the ground, drinking some water, enjoying my 30 minutes, trying to tink out a couple whenever I get the chance. Scrolling through Facebook, and I see Angela Baby Carson posting there on Facebook, and I knew she'd had a rough day yesterday from the show this morning. But even still, seeing the little family members that she has. And when one of them gets sick and passes, I'm sitting there in the parking lot on the ground, like up on the little curb stop with my feet out looking at Facebook, and I have tears streaming down my face as I'm reading her posts. I think it was a guinea pig, something I think had a stroke and had passed yesterday.
Oh,
And it was just fucking tearing me up. And I had no legitimate reason why, other than sad, of course. But it was just one of those things where I feel like such a little over emotional human.
Nancy boy.
Look, I wasn't going to try to get into any.
No, I get that feeling all the time, man. A movie will just grab me or something, you know? It's like, why am I so emotional?
Songs will do that to me too. I mean, completely. I know.
It's ADHD, Zach. That's your H. That's the H in the ADHD. When you're hyper emotional and your emotions can be hyperactive too. It's a crazy little weird thing that got going on there, but same way. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Kimmy. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was okay. And too, and with my ADHD, I wanted to say that when I was perusing Facebook this morning, I noticed something it was one of those viral posts that had hundreds and actually millions of shares on it. And it was something called 80 billion trees was the source on it. And I'm going to actually share because I sent it to my husband and I think I sent it to Karen. But let's go up to the screen, I think. Share. I think you guys see my Facebook page, right?
Yep.
Yep. And let's see if I pull that in here. This is a shirt. They're sending this to everybody free if they want it. It's a free climate change is real shirt sponsored by 80 billion trees. And this went viral completely on Facebook. And it starts with the earth is not flat. Vaccines work. We've been to the moon. Chemtrails aren't a thing. Climate change is real. Stand up for science. Now, it made me sad when I saw members that I went to high school with in my list of friends that hearted things because I don't know. But they're actually giving these shirts out free, a $5 flat fee for shipping. But if you look at these shirts, you really can't get T-shirts for even $5 in shipping and that. They really are sponsoring and sending these out to everybody. So if you think we're not making a difference, I can send you the link to this, no problem at all. If we're not making a difference, and why are they giving out
They're burning money.
why are they burning money to put out a shirt that says the earth is not flat and vaccines work?
That would have been my perfect Halloween
in the
costume.
in the name of free climate change. So it's a free climate change is real shirt, and it's given out to anybody that wants them. If you send in your shirt size, they will do it.
Gonna get it by Monday.
Because it's time to stand up for science and fight to reverse the climate crisis by saying the earth is not flat.
How does the old saying go? If it's free, you're the mark.
Yeah. And here's your here's your billion trees. Our team plants trees. We're good people. We're fabulous. The earth is not flat. We plant trees. Humans have wiped out 60% of animals. In other words, this is
since 1970. We've destroyed over half of all animals on the planet. Get the fuck out of here.
There you go.
All of them. Not just like species, a list of species. We're talking all of those animals are gone.
So for each person, you can do that. And then you can order a second one, which will cover costs really, because if you all buy T-shirts and print them in that, your second one is $13.38 for a total of T-shirts with the shipping. So you'll see they're just covering their costs on the second one. You don't have to. You can have it all for $5 shipping, which again is less than the
one shirt is $5 and two shirts are $15.
Well, in other words, you're giving everybody one free shirt, but in case you need to have more than one. Let's say that you love it so much that you want to wear it every day without doing laundry because that's bad for climate change. So your first shirt is free, but then after that you get a special deal, which is actually a pretty good deal too if you think of what a t-shirt costs and that it's not. But no, they're giving away free shirts, and it's a huge Facebook free shirts to everybody.
You can help fight climate change, and at
I
that
know.
price, you can wear one every day and just throw it away when you're done.
Right, and I have to wash it, and that won't dirty the water.
No, and good for the environment.
But yeah, I don't
I
know
want
where.
to get that shirt and then put "This is retarded" across the top of all that,
Right,
or
and again,
something like that,
who
or
knows if
dot
it would.
dot dot. That's retarded at the bottom.
Or just wait.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody reads your shirt, just wait till they get done, and then when they look at you, just smack yourself in the face. Just punch yourself right square in the eye and just say, "This is the kind of person I am."
It was one of those that was suggested for me, like Amazing World, that's got again this, but that one was more viral. Crazy stuff, crazy. We can click out of the Facebook now, but I thought that you
I
were
know
discussing.
that dude.
Oh, you saw what that was, boys. That was the
Oh,
shaking booties and the
Can be shaking her boobies again.
what we were doing before you got on the show.
Okay, nobody look. Cammie showing her boobies.
Okay, this is for you, Walt.
Double boobies.
This is how to make boys interested in double refraction. You draw it as boobies. Here's optic axis 1, optic axis 2.
Now tell them
two.
what you're doing. That's just a Polaroid filter, right? In
This
between
is
you.
okay. Should we have some school? Should we say what we're doing to
Booby
make?
science. Fucking.
Should we do booby science today, boys? Can we?
Yes.
All right.
You don't have to ask us twice.
Please,
on this
Miss
show.
Nodell, can we
Woohoo!
please?
Everybody, get out your pens and papers. Take some notes, just in case you've got bad memories.
What you're
Oh,
watching?
my pen. Never mind.
Okay, everybody, if we haven't known it by now, with polarized light, I'm going to put me on camera a minute first and then that on there, okay? And we'll go back to the box. I don't know if I know how to do this, but we'll stop sharing. I will share again, and we'll do video. Hello, where am I?
You guys in chat are awesome. You
You
guys
guys-
got me cracking up.
I
I
know.
don't-
Just went over there.
I
Tom-
love you guys.
Tell me if there's anybody in chat doing pictures, because I have too many screens up and I cannot do that too. I see you see my mouth, and that's fine. That's good enough. Polarized, like people have had polarized sunglasses, polarized different things. You've heard the term, right?
Mhm.
We're gonna take you back to basics and take you forward. Polarization was first discovered by a gentleman named Faraday, and then they made it too scary by people, for people to look at, because they called it the Faraday effect. And we're going to learn the Faraday effect, and it's not scary at all.
Well, no, because they drew a bunch of different equations for every angle that you could look at it from, and you look at the math, and it's like, I can't understand that.
I can't understand that, but we're going to show you. You don't need to understand the math at all. The women always get this. The men do not. The reason the women get this and understand every word I'm saying, Liz, is because they're not trying to overcomplicate it. Nobody tried to overcomplicate this. A gentleman named Faraday observed that anytime you had a magnetic field or electric current or that, it polarized the light. What does polarized the light mean? It just simply means that the light can only go in one direction, one slice of a direction. So if you took a pair of mini blinds and opened them up halfway with slats, you would say that the light could only come in that way. If you wanted the light to get in from the north, you'd tilt them this way. You'd angle them at different angles to get the light in at different directions. So is everybody in chat following like the mini blind
Yeah, so
analogy?
a Polaroid filter is pretty much a mini blind, just
A
real small.
A Polaroid filter is simply a pair of mini blinds done really small. They have each line, you have alternating line. One line absorbs the light that's black. The next line you can see through. So when I'm holding this horizontally, which I'm doing because you see me through it, which happens to be matching with my camera and stuff that we're doing because your screen, we use it in a lot of technology. So we'll explain why that math is so important. But it is just a filter or sunglasses with fine lines drawn apart it.
Well, yeah, we're
Right?
not trying to say that the math is bad, because the math is what makes our technology
we're going to say,
possible. You
and we're
know,
going to say exactly what the math is, and I can do it under the light filters too in a minute, make it so you see it a lot better than me holding it. I just want you to see that there's no magic here. So you're looking at a light filter.
we're not seeing through that. Yeah, we're getting a bad glare there, Kim.
And part of the reason is that there is polarization on the camera. So I'm going to have to change to a camera without see how it's doing it without anything else?
Yeah.
I'm going to change these little filters. I'm holding these same little filters, and I'm just going to change it so you're looking at them without a camera that's got a Polaroid filter in it when I explain. So now we're going to get rid of me. Hold on, stop video, because it won't use one without the other. We're going to share screen and put the camera back up. Hold on 1 second. Camera that. Let me share the screen. And we're going to share the screen with the camera and share it. Okay, so now you should have a camera up, right?
Yep.
And those two pieces of Polaroid filters, you see how I'm holding them here and here? Okay? So right now I have them going both horizontally, so the lines are being drawn across it. Across, this way, right? The Faraday effect, now your computer screen is polarized. A lot of your screens are. Your phone screen is special polarized. It's called circularly quarter polarized. That's because you change the angle of your phone as you look at it. We can get into that on complications. Things that they use these little lines across are like windshields in airplanes, on all of your equipment screens. Why? Fishing glasses, polarized glasses. They change it so you can look into it. They take off the glare. But these fields, this is what happens naturally in nature. In other words, we're emulating something that happens in nature around a magnetic field or an electrical current. It's there. Now, when you cross these fields, what happens is when they hit 90 degrees, the light goes out. You're seeing a reflection back of the microscope, but here, if I take out that glare, maybe. You're seeing the camera reflecting it, but you're not seeing through here. I know what I can do. I can put something. We're going to put the boobies back behind it.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. The reason we're going to do that is okay, here's our boobies, boys. So you're interested.
Wait, what'd you say? Boobies? Oh, okay. Here we go.
There you go. Here's your boobies. Here is your boobies in horizontal position. But as I rotate the filter and all I'm doing is spinning it, oh my God, your boobies went away. They're gone.
Aww.
As I rotate them more.
Bring back the boobies.
Hey. Now these are fields that again we know is a rotating probably, again, I would point out by what we're reading out there, went around our North Pole that's making a big spiral around us. Plus, your sun is putting out polarized light. These are things we know happen when you have a magnetic field or an electrical current, and we know they're rotating, and so I'm just rotating this for you. When you start doing this and putting it into action, I want you to think about how sometimes it gets dark right away, and how sometimes with a different angle there might be a long evening because the angle is different. The Faraday effect is simply, people, the math that says that at 90 degrees, the light goes out. Oops.
Breast reduction, according to Sean Alt and chat.
All of the formulas that I'm going to give you are just at different angles, how much light is going through and how much I'm going to see. The Faraday effect is not formulas, it is the optical effect that you're seeing, and how as these fields cross, what you see and what comes through. This is
why it was such a big deal when we saw that second sun that Chris showed us in his telescope. The huge part about that was we were able to block that out by rotating a filter in front of it, a Polaroid filter. Now you'll see that all the debunkers that tried to debunk it say, oh, that's a flare in the lens of the. They never showed you that being blocked out by a Polaroid filter because they can't.
They can't.
Because that wasn't what they were looking at.
What we were looking at
Being blocked out by a Polaroid filter showed that was a solid, that was a real object up there.
a real
That wasn't
object,
a lens flare.
a real object that was sending out polarized light. In other words, it was acting itself. We know it wasn't a giant filter, so therefore it was a magnetic field, something solid polarizing light. It was, it was polarizing the light in that action. So for it just to do it, no matter what angle you had, no matter where you had it in your scope, and that for it to completely go out that one area of it without anywhere else on the, remember, we saw more of the sky than that one piece. We saw two suns, right? Only one of them, our visible sun, did not polarize out, but that other one did. You need two filters. It doesn't matter how long you spend one filter, you can do it forever and ever and ever. Without that second field in it, without that other object, do you understand that no matter how many times I do this, you're not going to make it go away? I can make other very cool things happen when I do it. I can put one field here and I can start controlling how we see things through light by saying that I can only see it through this one angle. I'm going to put this is a piece of mica. So if I put a piece of mica and I block off the angles where we see the mica, you're going to, right now at this angle, you're going to see this color. At this angle, you're going to see this. Because I'm only letting in one angle of light at a time, I'm going to change the color you see.
That is so wild.
I have, so in other words, you're getting in.
And mica is just a crystal that we picked
crystalline.
up out of the ground. This
We
wasn't made in a lab or anything like mica is. It's around us everywhere.
And what you're showing there reminds me so much of different types of the way sunsets happen,
Mhm.
cloud cover,
Cloud
just
cover.
all kinds of things.
And then
Yeah.
when you start positioning things in eclipse patterns where you have the North Pole, which is going to be a magnetic column in the center, and you start making them opposing and adding in the different things in nature to it, you can also not only see your sunrise sunset when it seems to just disappear instead of go down. When you start again adding these angles and ways that you look at things in reality with the way that they would do it, if you look at it through the filters of reality, and when I say filters of reality, I just mean that polarity exists in reality. I'm going to do something with these three filters, or with this filter. You remember this filter here? And let's make this go away. So we have the Faraday effect, right? You're not getting anything on here. Oops, I need something. I need our boobies to read through it. I'm sorry, so you see what we're looking for. I got the guys interested in this because we drew bad boobies. Science, it's boobies. We do whatever whatever it takes to get our audience. Oops. And it's weird because I'm working at a different angle than I'm seeing it differently. So right now I have
science.
Those boobies are there behind two Polaroid filters. I have them taken away. But guess what? I just added in a third filter. I'm adding in a third filter and I'm bringing them back. If you guys could see what I'm doing, those two filters you can't. Zach, can you get a picture of this?
Yeah, I'm coming right now.
You guys need to see this because it won't make, you won't see the miraculous of it without him seeing what I'm doing. In my messy, messy office, we're putting it back together from Flattoberfest. Forgive my wreck. Okay. Are you behind me? Oh. Okay. Okay. And you can also get it up on the screen too, because that's where I'm watching. In other words, right now, let's get it gone. It's gone. I'm adding in a filter, and there it is. Pick it up on the.
Now everybody's gone.
You might want to pick it up on my screen pick it up on the camera, and then show what I'm doing. because my angle is going to be different than yours. I'm doing it for that. It won't let you share?
Josh, can you share me, present me my screen?
He is.
It is. He is. I have different on my screen. I'm actually seeing my camera.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I'm
But
just.
yeah, that's what she's doing. You see, she has the one Polaroid filter laying on right on top of the boobies. She's holding the other one up here. And then when she puts that third one in between there,
You see them all again.
okay, pull the middle one out. See how dark it is? And then when she slides this up in between,
You can see the boobies again. I just brought them
that's
back.
where the
Crazy.
whole light is a particle falls apart.
Okay. This one we're talking about, this is called false theorem, and this is a paradox. I'm going to start sharing again. So when we talk about this and me doing this, that it's gone, and me adding in another filter and it comes back, like I'm doing right there. I'm doing it right now. One and add in. Take away, add in. What we did is we just filtered out 100% of light. I'm even hitting different areas of polarities, 3 filters overlapping each other, because you can start to see the lunar eclipse in that. So where the filters are overlapping, you're seeing more light coming in. That's a 3 filter overlap. Think about what I'm saying in reality. You're filtering out 100%, and then you add another filter and it's putting more in. Now, the more filters I add in, the more strange it's going to get, the more light I'm going to let in.
And real
What-
quick, then,
Mhm.
people were asking at Flattoberfest, why aren't you guys presenting up on stage? And Karen B gave us that option, but would it really matter? I mean, we could do a video right here of what you're seeing here, but you holding the filters in your hand and you turning them and seeing it happen as you do it,
Is the
that's
magic.
what we want to do. We want you to play with all of the toys that we bring. So you can actually, seeing other people do things is one thing. Making stuff happen yourself, like I was telling people, they were moving mountains by turning the crank on the Van de Graaff generator to scale,
Exactly.
of course, but they were moving mountains with their
Right. You
hands.
can't do that on stage. Right. It's
Yeah,
look right there,
exactly.
Brian in the chat. Exactly. Hands on.
So it is, I guess we could present on stage. We're not really happy presenters. We are hands on and, like fairly humble with it. But I want people to understand that these are realities. Why this is so important reality that you're just looking at and reading it through the different. I should even block out the writing on one I could, because you can make the eclipses happen. Why this is interesting is that you can't replicate what I just did on a computer because the math doesn't make sense. It's a paradox mathematically. They can't, there's too many variables on the angles, and where I hold the angles, you cannot make sense of the math and say, make it this much more transparent or less transparent. Again, it is a paradox mathematically, but you just watched me do it in reality. And like I did it with filters, you can do it with electromagnetic fields, which we happen to know exist. So it's reality. It's not a computer simulation or that. If you tried to simulate this on a computer, good luck with that. It won't work. Reality is a little bit more complex than a math formula. The other thing that we were looking at and making them jump on the boobies jump. Do we have the screen up? This is what the boys like. Most solids that are crystalline, one of their properties is something called a double optic axis. And that's simply like if you were to visualize putting a straw into water and you watched it bend, the amount that it bent would be called the refractive index. Don't overcomplicate it. It's just how much does it bend? What angle does it bend at? If you switch that straw into oil, you would talk about having the refractive index of oil and it would bend more. If you put it through solids, again, you're testing how much does that straw bend. In solids, one of the more common than less common. As they grow and organize, they will make more than one optic axis. I'm going to give you calcite as an example because it's lovely that it's so transparent and easy to work with, and it's got a very large difference between the two optic axes that makes it really easy to teach with. Most stones like sapphire, there again, so many of your stones has got more stones than have this property. This is the same property that would make it go the different colors when I put it between the two filters thin enough. Again, it's the same growth patterns that's kind of causing the same effect, but you'll see the optic axis is this way that I'm going to use. See these lines? I'm going to put a piece of calcite over it, and now you see it twice. You see the two optic axes. Now I'm going to polarize the light above it by putting in a polarized filter. You now see one of them and a piece of mica. We have it all. And as I rotate my filter, there's one axis, here's the other axis. I should get the mica off because we're getting too confusing.
And could this have something to do with the lunar wave and
This
that
could
jump that Crow saw?
This would have everything to do with the lunar wave. I'm doing this very extreme. Remember, calcite, I'm picking this because it has one of the most extreme double axes, far apart. That little word I use sometimes called birefringence, I'm going to take a smaller filter. It's not really a hard, complicated word. It's simply how much distance is it between that line, and it works better if I keep the filters under the camera. I'm looking at the screen while turning, but between this line and that line, how much distance is it? 1, 2. This has got one of the most extremes that you'll ever have in nature. So I'm using it to demo because it does it. If you think about what the lunar wave does, I've measured this at 0.011%, like a small jump. And we do, lo and behold, we have a lot of minerals that jump that amount. Celestite is included. It was a direct match. But if you looked at actual things that we measure, now you're looking at two of them, but I'm going to bring up something on the screen. I'm going to quit sharing and start it over again. Hold on, because I don't have the right screen.
Only on IRM.
Only on IRM, yeah. Hold on. Let's do screen this one. Share again. Do you see this with the flower on my screen? Heliospheric current sheet?
Yes.
Okay, this is something that, in other words, these things I'm working with, I'm not making up. They're saying the sun rotates, its magnetic field lines twist into, in other words, a Parker spiral. I also think that this is happening probably at the North Pole, and they're drawing this to be heliocentric. But if you look at this rotating thing that we have in our sky that we know that we measure the electric currents, we measure the density, we measure exactly. There's your planes, by the way. There's your dielectric inertial plane. It's called your boundary. It's called your interplanetary boundary in science, Zach, by the way. And there you go there. But we know that we measure it, and it's a perfect Archimedes skirt. And we know that it rotates around once a month. Akin to this, if you imagine, you remember how the lunar wave happens in twos. We know that these are simply when
and
you go
they
down,
kind of come at a cross,
right,
across each other sometimes.
right.
Well. Yeah.
So put your lunar wave, put your moon going through here, 1 and 2. I can tell you by doing the math on here what these are.
Absolutely.
This is nothing but a rotating Polaroid filter. This is just drawing out that Polaroid filter in 3D. if you read, and if you read the magnetics and the different things on it, that's all this is, and you can do it. It's when it switches from positive to negative to positive. We measure this. We measure this in science, and then we draw it out with the sun in the middle instead of the North
So,
Pole. But if you figured out the lunar wave, of course you would demonize it, because if you figured out the lunar wave and how these things work, and know that like you can measure the birefringence and get the information that you can backtrack from it, of course science is going to demonize Crow, because you can backtrack a lot of information from having a rotating Polaroid sheet, which that's what this is. There is no denying that this is a polarizing filter. That's what it does.
so
Uh,
what's the chance that that's how they came up with these Polaroid films in the first place, is by knowing that this is what's going on in our real world, not the fake one they present us, but the actual.
they
I mean,
came
who
up.
came up with Polaroid film?
Okay,
It wasn't the
Faraday.
Polaroid company,
Okay,
obviously.
yeah. No, I can take you down to it. Faraday came up with it, and you can go through and do the actual tests and do it with instead of where I was doing it with filters, you could do it with magnets and fields by crossing the fields. And we've done that. I haven't done it live, but I've watched that done live. Faraday came up with it, and Clark wrote it down as doing the math and showing that where these fields actually crossed, you lost light. It was always an optical effect. What mainstream science did was they just quit teaching that it's describing an optical effect. They just made it so complicated and ugly to look at that. Yes, the engineers in engineering and things like that, this is important, because why we make filters out of it. Keep in mind that, like, if you're a pilot and your windshield is polarized, you'll notice that aviator glasses are not polarized, because you would not want your pilot getting hit by turbulence, tilting his head in the equipment and his windshield going black. So in other words, when you engineer the same with when you engineer on a little cell phone, you have to think that they're using it in this direction and that direction, and they might have on polarized glasses. But who observed the fact in the first place was Faraday. And then technology said, wait a minute, when you look through one angle, you lose the glare, so you can like see into the water. When we use it in I used it in gemology all of the time. You saw how I was separating to read the birefringence and to separate the lights, like on the mic and that. We used it a ton in not theoretical science, but in trade science. I'm going to call you the difference. In other words, practical science, meaning that you have to sign legal papers. Think about it, that when you need to know what's in grandma's ring and how much money it's worth, because the grandkids are fighting over it in the will or whatever, and it's going up for debate in court.
Yeah, not geology,
Not
gemology.
geology, gemology. You need to know, and you need to put a dollar figure on it. You need to test it without destroying it. So we use optical. Most of these effects that people scare you away, you don't understand. They're nothing more than optical effects. They keep, like what I do in trade school, away from geology, because the two don't go together at all. Practical and theoretical
Is that
sciences
why they
don't
did
match.
that with
Yeah.
those two? And you will never find like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
university with a gemology department?
I doubt that you would, because the two really don't fit in hand in hand. They
They like butt heads.
they butt heads. Because we have to deal with reality, not theoretical. It's not theoretical at all. But all of the equipment is based. We use polarized light. All of my equipment had polarized filters in it that we use separating light to identify. These are ways to identify properties of it. But they never called what I did. Here you go. What I did, even though I played with Polaroid filters my whole career, they never told me it was the Faraday effect. It was only until I looked at flat Earth and I looked at the math and the shit, and I said, I would have thought I was too stupid for Faraday. You're just talking about what happens when you rotate your polarized fields. It was mind blowing. I did not. I was like, this is what they do. They try to overcomplicate it, over make you feel stupid in a way, but I've been spinning filters my whole life and taking readings, and that is what the Faraday effect is. That's all it is. And it's simply, again, your crossing of your fields, which again we use the technology all of the time. And again, we know it's out there as far as in nature. So when we're solving for things like eclipses, sunrise, sunset, amount of dusk versus when it gets dark quickly, I want you to look at the angles to all of this and say that our answers are already up there. We don't need to make dark matter. We don't need to we just need to observe. In other words, people, I think the easiest thing I could think of is people working with and looking at how the world works. They really need to quit looking with it on a computer and start actually playing with the pieces. I can take that a step further, that the most common thing that they draw on are, when people draw it, all of the people making things on the map, they draw the North Pole in the center of a ring magnet, something that looks like a speaker magnet, but instead of cutting it up and down, instead of slicing it up and down, they slice it the other way. So like you have one pole on the inside, another pole on the outside. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? I can share screens on this here.
Yeah, show us.
Shout out to
I
Mike
wa-
from Truthers Hour of Comedy. Sorry. See you out there, Mike.
Yeah, it was awesome seeing Mike again. Great guy. Shout out to FE Nation. We hung out quite a bit. As much as I could hang out with anybody, really, you know. But yeah, he hung around the table quite a bit. And then Friday I hung out with him, and just a really cool guy. But he was nice enough to record, like you had asked, Walter, to get some video of what I was doing over there.
Absolutely. Nice.
I know if you guys want to see, I know Brian, he had a lot of video live feed. Ariel, she had some live feed of the stuff we were doing over there.
Ariel caught me in Grace action breaking Zach's sentimental Galileo thermometer that he did get from his mother. If you watch Ariel Day 2, you can watch do the Faraday effect experiments, the anisotropic, a lot of what we're doing, and you can see me break his mom's thermometer that my heart is broken. But we now have little balls that we needed from another experiment that we saved from the inside. And I love his mom, and I will have a chat with her and give her a hug, and we'll figure out something else in the middle for Zach.
Right.
I love him so much. Okay, so can we see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when we do our speaker magnets, it's axial, right? You have north and south, and your field goes this way, right? People
Yep.
people are drawing it like a speaker magnet with one on the inside and one on the outside. The issue with this is, and they try to do it in different configurations. The issue with this is that when you draw your magnetic field lines on an axial, to get this is going to go on the stack engineering on why it can't work. When you do the radial magnet, if you draw your toroid around it, you'll see that your field collapses. This is the only configuration that doesn't work. Your field lines cross, and it winds up just drawing a very, very tight field that just goes around the circle, because there's no way to have your center the way that it goes. If you look,
Right.
it is impossible to draw your toroid pattern. It collapses into itself. So if I were to draw your magnetic or put it under the field patterns, I'm trying to do it with multiple magnets. When they do them in single magnets, they explode when they get to a certain point. Certainly on their images, they're going to do the field. Let's do the field lines, magnetic radial field lines, because I've done it. I could probably, I don't have an axial magnet, but I've done it with the others. If I were to put film on it, it's going to, somebody did it. It's going to be a circle. there's going to be no tori, there's going to be no field. It's going to cancel itself out. It's going to be
Well,
have
yeah,
a
because the
tight
dielectric is that line right there,
is that
and
line, right?
it's not a flat. You're not. Yeah,
It can't
yeah.
go anywhere. It can't go anywhere. It can only, when you draw your toroid out, it can only cross, cancel, and draw itself the tightest little thing, right, like a microlead, the tightest field around that. So if you put this under if you put it under a film, I certainly have this. Let me see if I can get it somewhere else. I know I have it. Are you still watching my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I know. Let's see.
So the thumbnail for tonight's show that I used, I had AI make for me, but I used the Flammarion engraving as part of the text prompts.
Oh, I love that.
I'll drop in somewhere. I'll start showing some of the other ones they came up with. There were some really cool ones. Some were shit, but some were actually pretty cool.
It's scary how AI can do that and that quick. Just boom, here's a masterpiece.
Here's 9 different ones for you to choose from. Which one do you like best?
Hey, where are you hiding? Magnetic field dipole links. That could be a different, possibly in here. I'm not very organized.
You're more organized than I am.
What happens to a magnetic field in this case? Oh, look at that. When I force these magnets, you get the tight torus, and it's going to disappear. The field would disappear completely. In the simplest explanation, in terms of surface currents account for the field, when I do the readouts and that, and we have some with films, again, you get it where it's almost an incoherent in here where it cancels, so you do read the circle.
Personally, I like a nice tight little torus.
It is a tight little torus. Where did that go? Or I know on some of these I'm going to have actual pictures of it. Oh, and this is giving you different configurations. This is what we love. Multipole.
Big shout out to Karen V in chat. And
Hi,
a big
Karen.
Thank you so much. That was the best Flattoberfest ever.
Ever.
And I'm seeing in other people's opinion as well. They just keep getting better. You are awesome, Karen. Thank you so much.
So even here, when you're doing, here's this picture. This is called an axle. This is like a speaker magnet, and your toroid goes in and out, right? Again, try to point these towards the center. Make your lines do it inside and out, and you'll see that your lines will hit each other. They cross over, and when you cross over fields, you cancel them. One of these, I'm going to click in and actually get the magnetic film readout on it with gauze, maybe over Unity. That's doing it with 6 poles. This is doing multi-pole, unipole. Here you go. This is and you can only do this very small without it collapsing, without magnet exploding, by the way. They haven't gotten these very big. The people on the magnets have been working on it for a long time. They're calling it a unipole or whatever. But notice, this is your magnetic field. It's very exciting, isn't it? Doesn't that look like our Earth's magnetic field? No. Because why? It cancels each other. It's not reality. It can't work in reality. You're right. You need to go up and around and not cancel. This is a quadrupole and spacing it out this way. That works. But that is one of the things that people drawing that speaker magnet and taking it in, as people draw things, I just wish that they would buy magnets, buy the film here. It's not hard. Let's go to, we're going to go to, I don't know what all I have open anymore, but we're going to go to the camera. Okay, and we're gonna take this apart. And
No.
I'm going to find magnets. Where are my magnets? There's stacks of them here.
Sorry, guys. No more boobies.
Oh, I took away the boobies, but I'll put them back. I do at that little stack of magnets I was playing. I'll grab them over here. I have a jar of magnets. I'm playing with
Big
a
shout
magnet.
out to a gentleman named Richard. He donated like all these magnets and
Thank you, Richard.
connecting thing. We're gonna make the Sephiroth now in 3D. That's gonna stay together. It's not gonna be Play-Doh and toothpicks. It's gonna be a real one. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, the people there are just amazing.
The people there are just amazing. The boys on screen with me are just amazing. That again, they were willing to. If you did notice with the double refraction, if you move your calcite, you can make the boobies jump. There is learning. Everybody can.
Big shout out to Daryl Davis,
Yeah, buddy.
all the way from California, and man, that
Okay.
was being at the Shriners was great because the cops don't mess with the Shriners. Oh my goodness. The amount of product that gentleman brought and was just passing out, and oh my goodness. We could have kept an army happy. We'll say that.
I'm sorry, it wasn't showing up on the camera because of the reflecting, but I have like a magnet here in my hand. See? Magnetic field. All they have to do is invest $20 even for a nice magnetic field, and they too can look at like, ooh, look what do you have here, Zach? Do you see your dielectric inertial plane?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So in other words, people when they're designing the models, all I ask is that they pick up the parts and see if what they're drawing is possible. You know, in other words, are you drawing lines on a page, or is it something that could actually, does it work? And we'll stop video now and share. I have to check chat now on that. I've been talking a long time. This is why we don't put Cammy on stage and present. We don't know how to, but we have fun teaching. We have fun with the children, the kids around my booth. We had a CRT monitor that they're allowed to touch magnets with and pick up all the patterns, including
that's
where you get
awesome.
the outer patterns.
Yeah,
you
do you
get
have one of the boxes full of all the stuff there with you, Cammy, so you can just show what we had for all the children that came?
I can. Give me a second. Let me get this back on here. Give me a second because I have a couple things that were hijacked. So I can put one together for us. That's what I was doing because I was letting pretty much the kids ruled. If they said yes or can I have this, the answer was
Yes.
yes.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, one of my favorite stories is, and we also had science toys underneath it, is I have a lot of favorite stories, but this one is good. This one is a couple of little girls that were going crazy because I had stuff that glowed in the dark, and the different kids in age. They first of all wanted to make sure it was okay that they each had their own kit because they were in the same house, and I said, of course.
That's so cute.
Then they were looking at another thing I had there, and they wanted to know like if they gave back or what they could do or what. Like they're really, really wanting this glow in the dark pin and kit and stuff going, right? And I said, it's okay. I know how to share. I think that you should have that. It wants to go home with you. And we talked about how sharing was nice. And you know what they did? They came back and added to my table where the kids were. I had all this stuff for the kids. They handmade all of these gorgeous braided bracelets and they brought them over to share with me. They shared back.
Oh,
They came and they shared back. They took an extra
we do.
toy.
That's a community.
That's a community. For the toys that they took, they actually brought more than they took. They were really, really special kids. Everybody's kids that were there were special.
Oh, and it was so awesome during Chief Crow. People were bouncing around all these globe blow up balls, like beach balls.
Uh-huh.
And when the children got a hold of them, they were just smashing them.
Mashing them.
They were.
Yes.
It was hilarious.
The kids
There's
know how
got to
to
be some
play.
good footage of that. Yeah, that was awesome.
All of this time, I do have a kit, Zach. Let me see. My problem is my little UV lights that were in there are stuck in the little they're stuck in the baggies, and I'm trying to open. Oh, no, there. I'm trying to open one up before showing you the kit because well, here, I'll do it in front of you. It's okay. I will do it in front of you.
Yeah, big shout out to Thunder Chicken. Good
Big.
Lord, this oil that he makes tastes so good. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, flat earthers are amazing. It's not
Mhm.
just that they're so giving and everything. I mean, they make stuff. Like, how many people could you name, like, from your high school that actually, make their own stuff? Probably not that many, unless you went to like an Amish high school. It's like every flat earther makes something, grows something.
Does something.
Yeah, does something, makes something. They're amazing people.
Okay, if I can figure out how to share again, I'll see if. Okay, I think we can do it this way. Can you see me? I'm a mess, but that's okay.
I see it.
Okay, we made this, and this is thank you, Jana, too, for helping me. We had these little boxes for the kids with how the world works. And this was special boxes that Jana, my girlfriend, helped eat all of the candy so we could have these. What I'm trying to do is get the little UV light out so I can show you and demo it to it. It's a little UV pin light. And Zach, I can't do it. I'm too stupid. Here we go. Here we go. Voila. We're getting ready to show you. So in the magic box that we did for everybody, oops, this goes over here. First of all of the boxes had filters in them to do Faraday and to do anisotropic. They all had 3 filters, 2 to 3 because I ran out a little bit. Then I'm going to face this down. The worst presenter in the world. In here we have the children got a magnet because all children have to have, you know what, screw this, we'll do it this way. The kids had to have a magnet, so the kids definitely got a magnet in their box. What children could not have a magnet? The children got a compass in their box because you need a compass. The kids got a whole bunch of mica in their box, and this mica is very special because who dug for the mica, Zach? Where's all the mica? We did.
With Karen B and Ken.
That's
or
right.
Ted, not Ken. Ted.
Yeah, Ted. So we went to Diamond Hill Mine and and I was giving away bags of the mica too, in little, like you give rice at a wedding. I had bags of those too. We have fluorite in here too that was glows in the dark because you have a UV light. Crystals. And some of them were spectacular. I don't know if let me go in here. Oh, little glow in the dark balls and things like that because again, kids like things that glow. And crystals galore that we found. Like again, I don't know how we're doing it, but they're actually, I could put them under the microscope and they'd look so much better. These are pointed crystals and pieces that when we were out digging and mining,
Yeah, you'd have to put that under the thing, Ken.
I would have to, and it's, you know what? it's worth it because these pieces are spectacular. Some of the ones that we got. I'm gonna switch.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when you go to those types of places how the crystals are just. I mean, you're walking on. They're right there on the top of the soul. You don't have to dig. I was just blown away. Yeah, it just makes you, I don't know, realize how, I mean, this place is so huge and big, but at the same time, it's kind of small. And all this stuff is right here. You don't have to go hundreds and thousands of miles.
No, it's
I mean,
all right
yeah, it
here.
might be right there beneath your feet, maybe just a few feet down.
And in our area, not even that far. Okay. Anyway, this isn't going to show up good, but let's get it anyway. I'm just going to do a quick, we won't stay up long. So these are just like some of the pieces, like, again, beautiful crystal points. Dirty fingernails. Do you see the perfection?
Look at that point.
Look at that point. Some of them still have dirt in it. I didn't get them all cleaned. That's part of the magic because kids can do that. But if you look at these and the growth patterns in that, all of the kids have pieces of where seeing crystals grow in action. And again, we call these ones a little bit special because of the fact that they're all either they're from Diamond Hill Mine, our backyard, or Karen's backyard. And so we put a whole bunch of pieces, really nice crystal pieces, in for the kids too in their little box. A nice little point that I found. Isn't that pretty? That one needs to be cleaned. It's got resin on it, I think. Imagine that on my desk. So let's see if I covered it. We had fluorite that glows in the dark. We had ultraviolet flashlight. We had tons of mica as I'm doing the bikes. We again the glow in the dark. I'm putting my box under the microscope now. Maybe that's better. We had again for the kids pieces that glowed.
Yeah, it's zoomed way in, Cam.
Okay, I know. I'm making them
There it
fluorescent.
goes. It's glowing. Yeah, there it goes.
I know. So the children had pieces that glowed in the dark, natural crystals, natural mica, polarized filters, crystals, rocks, magnets, and compasses. They liked them. This is what we did for a giveaway for them. We went through more boxes than we had children because several adults, when I said, "Who's the kid?" they said, "It's me." And if an adult said, "I'm the child," I believed it. I said, "I'm a child too. I get you."
Yeah, it's like, how can you say no when they want to take it to go show other people? Like that one lady got away with
all of my stuff.
one of Cammy's hemispherical lenses.
She got away with a miroscope, a hemispheric lens, Polaroid filters, the big ones, the magnets, some magnetic viewing film. Okay, I had one lady that I loved her. This is another favorite story, as I'm trying to make a light go out here. Another favorite story. I had a woman about my age, maybe even a few years older or whatever, and she's Eastern European, which to me is like one of my favorite combinations that women usually. Usually people think they're being.
My grandmother came from Eastern European women.
You have no filters. You have no filters.
They say it exactly how it is. They're not going to sugarcoat it for you.
Not
They're
anything.
They're not going to say bless your heart.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say that's dumb. You're stupid. Yeah, I love them.
I love them. You know exactly where you stand at all times. They don't sugarcoat anything is right. I appreciate it. I appreciate the people that you know exactly where you stand and what they're thinking. And I think it's anything but rude. I actually get the exact opposite on it. I'm always refreshed when talking to somebody that's that curt and blunt. So she kept on asking me on where I got things, the light boxes, the different pieces, and I was sharing with her on all of the things. And I'm thinking she has a grandchild or somebody that she's really wants to show, and she needs, like, on the little dumb, she was like, "Where do you get that?" And I'm like, "Amazon." And she was like, "Well, what do you order them under? How do you get them?" And it's like, I go, "They're dome paperweights." And so she's like, "Paperweights?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're paperweights." And so she's holding one. Does this one cost more than 20? And it's like, no, not in that size. So she took a $20 bill. My hands would be full. She would reach and put a $20 bill in my back pocket and then put it with her stuff. Then she would proceed to, and I was like, "Who is the kid or what is that?" She was like, "No, I'm the kid. I need to show people this." And I go, "So you need the bigger filters?" And she was like, "Yes." So she was explaining to me that she was the kid, but she was following what I was saying, and she needed to show. And she was one of my favorite people there because I locked eyes. And when she said I was the kid, I watched her eyes light up, and I said, "Oh my, I'm the kid too. I know you. Take what you want. Go ahead. I know what you're feeling." And she was a big kid, and I loved her so much. So we had the big kids, and we had all of the younger kids, all of them. Kids are so easy; they don't have to unlearn anything. They see how it works. But my love to the big kids also, and bringing out the children and everybody. And I will
And
go
I
back and
told
check.
every child that, hey,
Uh-huh.
especially with the gyroscope, I was like, we don't know why it does this.
Uh-huh.
We need you guys to figure it out. We were all taught wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to need help from people like you who haven't been taught wrong yet. I didn't say brainwashed or anything like that. But yeah, I think that's so important to let the children know that, hey, we don't know everything, and it's okay.
And it's okay, and you need to
you might
learn.
be the one to discover something new that nobody knows. Because when I was growing up, I was pretty much taught that we knew everything. There is nothing left to explore. There's nothing left to figure out. Yeah. They sound like they know everything. They teach with such authority and such, yeah, it's not how we should be teaching the children. Teach them to think,
No. And
not
let
what
them
to.
have their hands on them. Let them pick things up and look. Let them make like assumptions and get it right and wrong and play and not memorize. Let them learn. Let our children learn again. I have to
Yeah.
step away to the restroom, but let our children learn. They are so smart. Our Austin, Melodon in the chat. I missed your children this year. They were there last year. Your children are brilliant. Good job, Kaylee Land. Najla, your children, they're brilliant. We have the brightest children there. It's amazing. I'm gonna step away a minute.
You guys want to check out that video from FE Nation?
Absolutely.
Sweet. Yeah, big thanks to him. I told him Walt was hoping someone can get a little
Yeah, man.
video of it. And it really didn't go through everything. I had just got shocked.
So you were a little out of it.
Yeah, it was early, and yeah, we went over a couple of things. We showed the Wimhurst generator doing the gravity, just reverse. And it works so well. I'm gonna move some stuff here pretty soon.
Told you you'd be levitating before long.
Yeah, this one scares me. It really does. Here, I'm
We
going to
must
show
be getting
everybody.
close to the 2-hour mark because you're starting to snap,
Am I
crackle, and pop.
snap, crackling, and popping? Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'll show this real quick, then I'll go jump onto the computer. But you got to hear this snap, crackle, pop of this thing. Okay, am I showing my video? It's
You
not
are.
my ugly face, is it?
No, we're seeing it. The generator.
So yeah, this is a Wimhurst generator, folks. So you have two plates here that aren't really touching, and the copper is on the outside here. I got to clean that stuff up too. Oh, I'm going to make this thing so much stronger. And then these little wire brushes right here are what rubs against the copper plates. There's one on each end.
Uh-huh.
And then these little points are actually picking up the friction between the wire brushes and the copper as these roll by these little points right here. Remember how electricity likes to travel to the points? That's why those are pointed like that. And then you have these Leyden jars. These things are mean. Ouch. Yeah. I learned not to play with the Leyden jars. Know what you're doing. What I did was, here, I'll show you. So I'm going to
All right,
zap it a couple times here. Oops. I'm going to have to set this down. Let me know. Are you still seeing it?
Yes, we are. Are we supposed to be seeing the round part, or are we supposed to be seeing the two little nods? Dude.
I forgot. Woo! I'm glad I only turned that a little bit. Damn, that worked. Woo!
I'm so sorry I asked that question.
These up
Don't
here.
do it again.
Can you see these?
Yeah, now we can. You have them in camera now. Everything's in camera. The whole.
Okay. So it'll be, what is that? Maybe 2.5, almost 3 inches.
There's probably like the bottom. Well, for you, your left. That one is almost out of camera, so we can't see the little tip part. Move it closer to you. The whole get up closer to you. No, closer to you. Or the camera further away. One or the other. There we go. Now we see both of the nodules.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Oh man.
Greg, now it'll take a second because the Leyden jars have to charge.
I hear one. Oh, dude. This is so nuts.
Now we're gonna crank it a little bit. Ooh, whoa, whoa. Man, I can smell so much ozone right now. Now, you would think, hey, a discharge. Man, ooh, that thing got me good. Wow, my hand just went, nope, you're not, your muscles are gonna seize up for a second. Whew. So, like an idiot, I went and touched this side of it, and I got a low potential. I had a lot higher potential than that thing had, and I know what that feels like because I've set the discharge wand in my lap so many times with the Van de Graaff. It's not like a shock; it's like sucking the energy out of you.
Really?
And like an idiot, I was like, after I did that, I was like, ooh, it had a charge to it. Let me go and touch both of them now.
No, dude.
So, yeah, but watch this, okay? Hasn't made a discharge in a while, but watch. Oh,
yeah, I heard it though.
Yeah, the quicker you do it. Now, if I do it right away.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells so good. It's
Be
amazing.
careful.
Yeah, ooh, there was still a little shock in there. Yeah, it's a beast. It really is.
You're sphinctering me up.
And I saw one that only did 75,000 volts. It was a much smaller version of this. And they wanted $180 for it. Damn. I was like, 75,000, that's nothing. That's like a quarter of what under half of what my Van de Graaff generator does. I'm not going to spend $180 for less power.
Right.
And yeah, this gentleman named Richard just donated this to us. So thank you so much, man. Big shout out. I'm going to have fun I don't think I can kill myself with it, but if I do,
Don't try.
it's not your fault.
Don't.
I'll just say that.
Is Richard the same one on the pails of magnets and lenses, or is that somebody else, Zach?
Yes. He brought all that stuff. He brought even more.
Even more.
Yeah,
All,
just amazing guy.
all through this, as your heart is kind of seeking because you kind of feel greedy, but then you like smash yourself for being selfish. All through the stuff on my table, like I had little magnets for the kids to get away, but not the neodymiums because they could be dangerous with the children, and like they're my babies, right? Especially the triangle ones and that. Well, the kids found them. And they were like, "Oh, we like these, and can we have these?" And it's like, "Well, I don't know if your parents would." And they're looking at mom and dad are like, "Yeah, they can have them." So I'm saying goodbye to all of my magnets because their eyes are so lit up and they think they're so neat. And so it's like, let them go. They're happier over there. They want to go. So I told Zach, sorry, love, I'm going to we're going to have to take our donations and replenish the magnets and stuff. I gave it all away. Okay, Richard comes over and gives us 2 or 3 tubs of magnets. More than I ever gave away, more than I ever hoped for, in the right kind that I want. Lenses that we need to work with, the machine that Zach is doing. In other words, when you let go of your greed, it comes back tenfold. Is no joke, because I kind of felt guilty with the little triangle magnet saying, "Boy, Cammy, how selfish are you?" You're seeing his eyes light up. He really, they like this. Let them play, and instead of saying no, I let them play, and it came back, and it's amazing. It is amazing. So now we have more magnets than I ever started with, and we know that if there's another event, there will be plenty of magnets for the children, because I know how the universe, I know that as I send them away, they come back. Again, the stories we have from Flattoberfest, because Karen B, who is in our chat, we are so grateful. It was the fucking best. Sorry, excuse my language.
It really was, in my opinion, best one yet.
Best one yet. Sorry about my language. I can't believe, but there's just not a strong enough word about how amazing it was. How absolutely amazing. And Walt, Josh, I'm crushed that you guys weren't there, because the energy and the touching and the hugs and the heart to heart was the best.
And the
children.
owner.
And the owner.
Tell the
The owner
story
was the
about the
best.
owner.
Okay, I'll do this, Karen. I hope I do it justice. People were even coming up to me, and with 420 going on in this everywhere, people were like, "How is the owner handling this?" And it's like, well, I haven't heard anything, and this is separate. Then I go and I run into Karen. I see Karen on the stairs and giving her a hug. So I'm talking with her a minute, and this guy comes up to us and says, "Which one of you guys is Karen B?" And I point to Karen. Everybody points to Karen. Man wants to talk to her. He owns the place, and he's got an issue. Y'all want to know what the issue is? What the hell is I hear about you moving Flattoberfest to Las Vegas? No, this is not going to happen. This is our favorite event of the year. We look forward. What are you talking about? What do they have in Las Vegas that we don't have here, and what can we do for you? We love your event. We love. Okay, I want you to now think of it from a. I mean, I sat there and I empathized with him, and it's like, what's not to love? You have a very polite, well-behaved group of people. You truly do, that treats the staff respectful, because why? We respect them. That tips well, because we've all worked and we know what it's like. We partake in karaoke. We partake in bonfires. We know how to laugh. We know how to enjoy. We know how to celebrate. This man was like a biker. I mean, he owns the Shriner Clubs, but he was he had our energy. In other words, it's like, why wouldn't he want us there? He was looking and saying, Karen, you can't Karen, you can't move this event. This has to be here. So it was the most
Well, yeah, how
what
many groups can you say that you've had over multiple times? You know, couple hundred plus people having a bar there,
right
and not one
karaoke.
argument, not one person had to be escorted ever. There was never anything like that. You know, it was, yeah, it's got to be an easy job for them. And we clean up after ourselves.
They were
they loved us.
They loved us. And the thing about the events, because I've been in the background with both Robbie and Karen, the thing about the Flat Earth events is they're the hardest thing to find a venue that will accept you. And we don't want to have to lie or meander our way in. So I have to tell you that it's not easy to find a venue that wants you. But every time we have had an event, the venues want us back. In other words, once we've had one event, they never say, "Oh, you guys are not welcome back." In fact, they say, "Are you having another event next year? This was really good. We really liked your people." Again, if you really think about that, and this is no different, that again, they've had some of our events and they want more. They like, I think they like the energy that we bring, but I mean, and they, for a venue, where else can you go for a venue and have bonfires, karaoke? They let us bring in our own food, plus they serve food. They have a bar, and you can bring in things anyway. They were not, they're okay with that. We had, some people had dogs with them. I mean, where else can you have a venue that was so wonderful, warm, and inviting as they were? And the grounds, the laughter. Karen B, thank you. Again, I find myself talking and not able to shut up. Are you guys going to play that game where we have silent time? Or?
Nope, we're just going to let you keep talking.
Well, as I'm telling folks there in the chat now, I've been kind of out of it today. I didn't sleep well and got up early and had a long day, lots of crap going on. But just reading back through chat, feeling you and Zach sharing the energy from everything that went on there, seeing the stuff you guys have been showing us tonight. It's just, yeah. It's the next best thing to be in there, damn it.
Well, we will have to still work on getting you there. Now I don't know. I think Karen's going to have a couple of
well, there'll be a
events.
double up. Have to be a double up if that's the case.
Yeah, because
the owner insists.
I know. And there are people in the chat, I believe his name was Keith or something. There are people that say that they may have him as a flat earther now, or at least looking. The people at the club were awesome. They were just, again, somebody that you wanted to hug and looked at and laughed. And they loved it that we had children there. They loved it that we had curiosity and toys, and that we were families and not, again, just a good, healthy, what you would like to see from a group of people. Look at the pictures from it. I'm proud of my friends. I'm proud of who I hang with. You guys are the best.
All
Y'all
right.
truly
Would
are.
you guys like to check out this video FE Nation did for us?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Let me get back to the main page here.
Wonder if those Shriners are low-key recruiting too. Hey, to be one, ask
Right?
one.
Just ask. I know that guy.
All right. Are you ready, Walter? Are you
I'm
seeing
right here.
it?
I'm right here, sir.
Right. Here we go.
Now I gotta get the film of that, what it's doing, what it's actually doing.
Yeah, I know. I wanted it for the children to be able to see it too. So I was like, I got to pick a spot in the middle somewhere. Yeah, this is really hard to see unless there's instructions on the back of it. And it's best if you're using a camera and you have it like right down here in front of us. You have to be looking at it level and from this point of view. So a lot of people weren't seeing what they should have seen because they weren't bending down far enough.
Right, because they weren't getting right to the right angle.
Yeah, this is one of those hard
So,
ones.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
I don't know how level. Let me.
Well, level with the edge.
Yeah, level with the edge.
And as you leave the city of Chicago and start going away, it appears the boat works better, but it never really does.
Right.
You get the boat with the sun.
Uh huh.
As they move away.
Right, it went down.
Yeah.
To the horizon.
And it's all about the angle you're looking at. I wanted it for the children too, so I had to make it nice and low.
Right.
But yeah, it's all about Rob. You can find this at testingtheglobe.com, and it's got the instructions on how to do it with a phone and everything. You want it to be set on the table.
Coming from?
Yeah, this is actually something that Rob had built and was selling on his website.
Nice.
There, yeah, and they're still available if people would like these to, show other people. Testingtheglobe.com. Table and you have to be as low to the horizon as possible because that's where we are. We're standing on the horizon. If you're looking at it down at an angle, it's like you're up in a plane.
Right.
Looking down at it, you're not going to see the same stuff.
That's awesome. I'm gonna do another experiment with this. That thing still working?
Yeah, I can hook this up to this now, and it works way better because I have more power.
Okay. Explain what you have here for the newbies.
Okay, it was hooked up to a Van de Graaff generator, and that's this guy right here, and it only gets about 200,000 volts of electricity, which isn't bad, but when you're trying to move stuff with electrostatics, the more power you have, the better your chance of have it moving it. So I just got this donated to me today. This is called a Wimhurst generator, and it'll get up to about 400,000 volts. I have already been shocked by it once, and I did not enjoy it. So I'm going to have to be very careful with this guy here. Oh, you're bringing out the big boy.
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah. So if you look down in here, in these plates, between these plates, there's a piece of paper in here. Now what we did, we have our Earth's electric field has our high potential positive above and our ground or negative below. And what I did is I reversed those. So if we were to take Earth's electric field and flip it upside down, that's what's going to happen in between these two plates. And you'll see that matter, that little piece of paper right there. When I start cranking this.
Yep, I got it.
Whoa. Careful.
Yeah. Discharge.
Yeah, that came off of there. I got it here.
Clever band. Yeah, the alligator clips.
Yeah. There we go.
Let me get on it.
And as I crank this up,
Yeah, it just went up.
right
You
on
need
top.
a bunch more in there to make them pop around. Give it that more of an effect.
The top plate is now the ground because in all reality it is in between those two plates. The low potential is above and the high potential is below, so it goes in reverse to what we normally see. Everything goes up. As I discharge it, go back over, look at the paper, I'm going to touch these two together, it should fall right down.
Yep, it fell.
Yep.
I got
And
it.
when you take that away, the electric field of Earth now takes back over and pushes it back down. So all we're doing is reversing what's here in nature in between those two plates. We can move metal, we can move wood. Yeah, people love this one. Just about everything. What's the biggest thing you move? Iron filings. Yeah. And now with this, since it's much stronger than this, I should be able to move a lot more stuff. Yeah. I just need some time. Like 7 or 8 pieces at the same time, you have them all. Oh, we could do that right now. We could. The amount of pieces isn't really as much of a deal. It's just now if your pieces are bigger and
Yeah.
like 3 of them could complete the circuit and go from top to bottom with 3 of them touching, then they might all form together and go in
And
a straight line. Yeah.
right.
But when they're spread out, you'll see what happens here. But yeah, that's kind of like what I was trying to say. You have to have them somewhat spread out because if it's big enough to complete the circuit,
Yeah.
then
They'll just
you're going to get,
attract each other. Yeah.
the electric field's going to be discharging and it won't stay strong in there. If they start interacting with each other, they can start bouncing all over the place.
Well, that's true.
So separate them on the plate.
Cut some of these. Come on.
They get charged on your sleeve. Yes.
Huh. That's Zach's natural charge.
Set that right there.
I need a shirt like that too, by the way.
Got a little paper ballet going on.
Yeah, that's a Dave Weiss original there.
Dude, that's
There you
so
go.
awesome.
I got them. They're on the top. They're discharging it, and they're falling. Yep, I got it. That's sweet.
Like you said, when you
Yeah, this one works a lot better because we have more potential to play with. So you're going to be able to move more and more weight. Like here on Earth, we suppose that there's at least 10 million volts above us, but we don't know.
I like what you said about in scale. In scale, you're going to be like Mount Everest.
Yeah, to scale, if you took from Antarctic edge to Antarctic edge, and scaled it down to this pizza tray, a human hair would be taller than the height of Mount Everest, the width of the human hair. So these would be
Antarctica.
Yeah, those pieces in there are enormous. They're like miles and miles and miles tall and wide. But we can still move them and manipulate them. Yeah, or a flat Earth map on top. Yeah, both. Yeah, so next year I'm going to have even more stuff for you guys to play with over here. And we'll,
Then you'll have to get that back from Witsit later.
Yeah.
To play with
He
it.
keeps it for months. I hope he keeps it.
Well, at least until the next festival, right?
Yeah, he can keep it till the next festival. Really.
Pass it off like a baton.
He wants to play with it now, and he starts learning hands-on, and that warms my heart. That makes me feel so good. So I can't wait to just give him that. I'm going to give him a small Tesla coil. I'm going to give him the electroscope, the electrophorus, the rods, everything, so he can go through and play and figure all this stuff out for himself.
Maybe do a few other experiments and things.
Yeah, he can figure out things that I've never even thought of testing. Physics is fun. It really is. I love it.
Want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, big shout out to the guys over at Ironworx Media. I don't even know if I would still be doing the whole flat earth thing if it wasn't for those guys. Shout out to Hiro Lanzucci, another guy who was a great inspiration for me to keep going and doing what I'm doing. Of course, Bob and Cammy Nodell, they've allowed me and given me the time to study and research and test all this stuff out over and over and over again. Geez, really everybody here I'd like to thank you for just coming and being a part of this and letting me share with you what I've learned. This is why we do it. We don't get paid to do this. This is because I learned something and I want to share it with you. And I've learned so much from all of you. Ideas and questions that you guys have given me. That's what a community is. We're all helping each other. And I love you all. Thank you guys.
And edit.
That's epic,
That's
dude. It makes
fucking
me
epic.
grin. Love you.
Now stop the screen right there. I want you to see the screen where in the right hand back. Oops. The right hand back of the screen there is a monitor, a CRT monitor, sitting in the corner. And you'll notice that I wasn't there. So you're like, where is Cammy? Is Cammy slacking? James would know where I am with the children in that I blew out first one light box. Then I used Then I used my CRT monitor and turned it sideways. You'll see it in the corner that we were using. That is the light box. But with Zach doing Tesla coil stuff right next to my light box, I zapped light box number 2. What I did do is I started doing it with the sign from Grounded Extracts, his neon sign. I started doing the light demonstrations in front of that, but what worked much better is where Mark Sargent and they were set up like for a press area. You know those lights that they put on you, the white reflector boxes with that you can set the kelvins and the things in it. You know when you're setting up for your computer, those light boxes, right? Photographers use them, the white reflectors.
Absolutely.
I grabbed one of their right reflectors and we had them set it horizontally and was using their reflector as a light box. So we had a demonstration going on the light box in the other corner while he was doing this. Because you'll notice I was absent from there, but I know by where the equipment is. Oh, that's right after we blew out light box number 2. So that, by the way, did recover. That came home and plugged in
2
and worked.
surge breakers.
I know.
Like we
And
had a surge breaker plugged into a surge
surge
breaker,
breaker.
and I was still going through stuff.
And you were still, yes, you were still getting me. The one light box that was not his, we surged that one. He kept on turning it off when he was doing it, but then I would just hit it back on. But then the cord got pulled and the connector broke. So that was not a, even though he was turning it on and off, it didn't break it. The CRT monitor, I just couldn't get the light to go bright again when I got it home and plugged it in. It was fine. But it was like enough of your nonsense over there. If I go bright, you're gonna dim me, dude. But yeah, you're working with the monitor, and instead of the bright white, it all of a sudden goes. He makes the zap, and it goes zzz, and it's dim. I call it that everything is related. So see what he's doing over there. It definitely affects what I'm doing over here. But that is how reality works. What he's doing over there makes polarized light, and what I'm showing you is polarized light. So you're just seeing a different fractal of interaction.
Gosh,
Sure.
that was so much fun. I'd almost
Name,
want to do that every weekend, but I don't think my body could take it.
I know.
Well,
Nemo
no, you're
says,
still recovering now. Oh, go sorry, Kim.
Nemo in chat says, sorry, we couldn't fix the light box, Cammy. Nemo, if you notice what I was demonstrating earlier on the screen, that light box is 100% duplicate. It came in overnight after I got home from Amazon for under $20. There you have it. So it's an A4 tracing board, that light box that I was using. I like it because it has nothing to it. You just plug it into a phone charger. It does not need to go through a computer. All it is a diffused light set to northern daylight at the Kelvin temperature. For me, it's perfect control element because of the fact it has no polarization to the screen, nothing added. It's pure. It's very clean and pure. It also keeps it inexpensive, but you do not want any of the gadgets. You want to control all of your variables. This gives me within the Kelvin of northern daylight, it lets me make it dim and bright. And then if I want to get more specific, I just, again, use the, you can set light conditions from the reflectors you use when you're doing a video, those where you set your Kelvin light on that white screen. You can just turn those horizontal and have a great white screen too if you need to go into different light spectrums. I find that the stuff that you buy and spend a lot of money for can be replicated very inexpensively if you know what the parts are and know how they're putting it together. For instance, what makes an expensive microscope is the lighting and the ability to have dark field illumination and diffuse lighting. And as soon as you add correct lighting to a $65 or an $85 microscope, you've got the same as thousands of dollars, honestly, if you can light them and get your field of depth correct on it. And I've done it with equipment under $50.
Right,
Or
I
$100
figured that
total.
out with a lot of the
hmm
microscopes I would get my son for Christmases over the year. Is just go grab some extra lights from somewhere else. And
Yes. And
throw it
again,
on there, and man, you can see so much better, so
you can
much
see so
clearer,
much
so
better.
much more detail.
The diffuse lighting of a tracing board is perfect, and even diffuse lighting, and it's just meant for you to trace. It's meant for you to trace a design through it. It's just a light box for tracing. It's so perfect. It is the you're right. The equipment, like there's a piece. If you go into gemological equipment, go into GIA laboratories, there is a piece of equipment called a Polariscope, and it's well over $100. And what it is, and then you need to get a Polariscope light, and that's even more money. What that is that's two Polaroid filters and diffused lighting. What I just showed you on that light box for under $22 actually. By just not having the fancy rings and having it labeled gemological equipment. Most of the equipment is Polaroid filters, calcite, sodium, and again, if you know how to arrange your
Yeah,
stuff.
this is how backyard tinkerers are able to exist because
Mhm.
you don't need the
You don't need
scientific
the.
stuff. You
Mhm.
can make it for 10 times cheaper if you just build it yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, it may look crappy. It may be held together with zip ties and chicken wire and stuff, but hey, it'll work.
It works just as well. Yeah. So Nima, don't be sorry. Too bad that
Well,
we
at
didn't
one
do the
time,
light
oh,
box.
sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll shut up.
Well, at one time, that microchip that's now, the whole CPU of your phone was in a room the size of a freaking small college. As miniaturization and circuitry and all that has changed, it's all shrunk and all that. So just blow it back up, make it bigger again, and you can do it a lot cheaper.
Well, yeah, that's why Doc was able to build a circuit back in the 1800s
There you go.
because
There you go.
guess what? That's when those things were designed. Yeah, they were a lot bigger, but I mean, all this tech has been around for so long. The computer, the way a computer operates, like the operating system of sending and receiving signals, is from like the 1820s. We've just found different ways, more efficient ways to do it. We've been able to make it more compact, this and that. But, it's like saying the combustion engine in this car is different than the combustion engine of a car, from 100 years before.
What
Yeah,
was it? When was it? Babbage? Wasn't he like 18 something? 18,
I think
30, 40?
I know. I thought it was
Is it? It
1826 or
could be. It could be.
27,
Let me look it up. I know every
but I
time
know
I
it's
hear
like
that in
way
the
back then.
B.O.B. song, I'm like, what? Babbage, Babbage. Oh, 1820s. There you go. Hang on. Let me get an exact date. Let's go to the Computer History Museum.
But yeah, that's how old the first computer is. The same, it's, the same type of
He began
processing.
in 1821 with the difference engine number 1, designed to calculate and tabulate polynomial functions. Then in he changed the capacity over the years, and then in 1830, a design shows a machine calculating with 16 digits and 6 orders of difference. It called for some 25,000 parts shared equally between the calculating section and the printer. Had it been built, it would have weighed an estimated 4 tons and stood about 8 feet high. Work was halted on the construction of the engine in 1832 following a dispute. Blah, 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 blah. Here, I'll just drop this to you guys here.
So yeah, they used to be the size of buildings, computers did. When they would say the bugs in the machine, it's because there was moths flying around in the tubes. Stuff like that. There was actual bugs in the machine. Back in the day, the machines were so big. Yeah, we've just found ways of doing it more efficiently. The combustion engine of now still runs on gasoline, ethanol. Still the same type of fuel. Still the same process. We explode it, it pushes something, it turns a crank, it goes. Yes, the engines have gotten way better gas mileage, way better this, way better that, but it's still the same theoretical process taking place.
Same levers, planes, screws. Shit, I don't remember them all. It's been too long.
Nice. Effie Nation says he got a jet flying in front of the moon.
Oh, nice. You gonna put that up on your channel later?
Yeah, he says he'll be
Yeah,
putting it
there we
up
go.
shortly.
Nice.
Nima says the gift boxes were nice and his daughter loved hers. The
I saw
children
that
loved them.
numerous
Yeah.
people talking about that. Austin and everybody now.
And this just goes that when you like have nothing to work with or whatever, what you can put together. These were the foam was from Amazon packing. The boxes would have been thrown away. The rocks we mined, the magnets that were part of the ones that we were playing together, the compasses and UV lights. You can get those, order 50 at a time, and they're pennies each. The UV lights was my most expensive thing in there. I think at 11 cents. But every child needs a little UV flashlight, so for 11 cents, I was all in.
That's awesome. One year for his whatever it was, Christmas, birthday, whatever it was, we got a kit for Quentin, and it was like a big sheet of this photosensitive film that you would put on the wall, tack on the wall, whatever, and then you could just draw on it with one of those little, just like what you were giving out to the kids, a little thumb, press the button, UV type lights. You could write on it. You could trace your hand on it. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Let's see if I can look on it up and find it and send you the
I'm
link.
not sure, but it was photoluminescent.
The kids
but
would
so it
go
kept on glowing.
crazy for that. Yeah, it would
Those
keep the glow
balls,
afterward.
yeah, it would keep the glow. That big blue ball that was on my desk that you saw that looked like the moon, the big blue, they were all writing and doing their names on that, writing with it and doing that. That was one of their, again, learning on how the cold light works.
That's it. There you go.
And yeah, if I knew where that was too, I could do it and draw and do exactly what you're saying. Maybe not in a toy, but we do that same thing here in the kids.
But I'm sure you can get that sheets of that stuff by the
all you need to do
and just have that in your next year's box.
It's less than nothing. I use styrofoam Play-Doh and glow in the dark paint from Hobby Lobby. Again, it's glow in the dark. You can get the clear glow in the dark paint and then make whatever all of those pieces and parts. I just made them, and I'm not very crafty. I mean, I'm not
backyard tinkering.
It's backyard. I took styrofoam balls and I put a layer of Play-Doh over them. And then I painted the layer of Play-Doh because I wanted not too transparent. I was going for, a feel for and you get it to work correctly with the light when you do it that way. So I was going more like a gemstone draws it. I was, doing it in nature. But yeah, I used again the Play-Doh styrofoam balls and glow in the dark paint all in the children's section. It doesn't take a lot. You can put together the kits yourself.
I'd like to give a big shout out to Matt. He is an Army helicopter pilot.
Woohoo!
That was hanging out at Cammy and I's table like the whole day. He'd go watch a presentation here and there, but he was always right back there and he wasn't so much like trying to engage as he was just listening to the conversations that were being had. And yeah, real smart guy. Explained him because he flies a helicopter. He said, "Oh yeah, the gyroscope, the blades of a helicopter. We have this thing called gyroscopic something or other that they have to do by hand. Because when they're going a certain way, like when I push it forward, the helicopter wants to go to the right, 90 degrees perpendicular to whichever force you put it in. That helicopter's because of the gyroscopic effect that takes place in anything spinning over 800 RPMs makes it want to go to the right. So he said there's a little hand lever there that we control that. Like when we push forward, we also have to push to the left a little bit. If I push to the right, I also have to push forward a little bit because it's going to want to try to go backwards. He said it's like almost ingrained in their heads after so much practice and whatnot that you're just used to it. Whatever way you're pushing, it's going to go 90 degrees the other way. It's going to try. And that just blew my mind. Like, why hasn't a helicopter pilot told us this before? But yeah, he said
Yeah, no
he
doubt.
tries to explain it to all his buddy pilots and stuff. And there's some of them that, they're starting to question and stuff. And some of them that are just like, don't even want to think about it. We all know how it is trying to introduce this subject to people, the different reactions you might get. Even today, after 8 years, there's still people out there that just haven't really been introduced to it at all. Still, you may have heard of it, you may have heard people talk about it, but there's some people out there that, they live on CNN and The View and stuff like that. They're not going to hear about flat Earth.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, Matt was a really cool guy. You could tell he was really thinking when we were having our conversations about yeah just some smart people I met there. A lot of new faces. That one guy and his wife, they had heard about flat Earth 4 months ago for the first time. Never even heard of flat Earth before that. So that's what I'm saying. There's still people out there that don't know that there's people out there that think the Earth is flat. I guarantee
Right.
it. They're out there still. So yeah, we just got to keep at it. Keep doing what we do.
Yes, we do. I
Well,
have
truly, if it wasn't for my kids being so already ahead of the curve, with technology and already being, doing the social media on their little whatever, they were so far ahead on that when I started watching the YouTube videos that were, getting me to the next level, if I hadn't had them going, hey, you can go do that with your phone and you can actually leave messages and talk to people and all that, I'm like, what are you talking about? So there's so many people that, like, number one, have no clue that YouTube's anything but like music, because that's what I thought it was for the longest time. And then suddenly there was some UFO videos, and then suddenly there was some, different stuff. But yeah, there's so many people that have no clue, the communities that have come together and built up around different ideas of this world. It's crazy. And then you take it to that next level. Okay, so I can find the videos on my cable system through this YouTube app I've somehow stumbled my way through, but unless they happen to have the chat going on the screen like we do it, they have no clue that there's actually people interacting with a live thing that's going on, or so yeah, there's so much untapped people out there.
I have a special for Bill Wall during the Shabbat Shalom for all of the people.
What's up, Bill? Will I have got to get
Yeah.
back to chat.
For all of the people saying Shabbat Shalom, we have a special one for you on a piece of information on why another reason Saturday is so important. And is it the first or the last day of the week or that? We're going to say that this world is fractal, including the weeks. And so I want you to do our music scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do is the starting note and it's the last note and it's an overlapping octave. So it's the last note of the scale and the first note of the next week, the continuing scale in music, right?
The beginning and the end.
It's the beginning and the end. That's what Shabbos is, and that's why on the Shabbos is if you take your days and fractal it, your Shabbos would be the beginning and the end
Of your week.
Of your week, both, because it ends the week and it's also the first octave of the next octave starting. Zach, you can explain it better, but Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's very, very special. Zach just clicked it. Can you make it more cohesive?
No, I think you did it.
Okay. But again, just put them in do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Most people understand that song and understand the way that octaves work and how they overlap with each other, and the weeks are exactly the same. Fractal man. So it really is a special day, yeah. I'm tired. Who else?
And if you keep, I mean, there's this recurring theme in different movies, books, TV, whatever, music, frequencies. I'm trying to think, what was that silly movie? The 80s, and Billy Barty played. Oh, it was the He-Man movie. Masters of the Universe with
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren and Billy Barty, and he had built the key thing, the frequency key music thing, and it was literally playing a frequency of music to open these doorways. Well, there's this new show.
The harmonics.
What's it called? The new show is called Archive 81. And so we started watching it a few nights ago, and in this show, which apparently is based around a podcast of a bunch of people talking about a lot of truth type stuff. Anyway, in the show, there's this sequence of events that occur where these people are trying to either summon something or open a hole to another place or whatever. And there are these tuning forks. There's two of them. And one is struck, and you hear that tone, and the other one is struck, and you hear that tone. And then suddenly there's this weird, eerie third tritone that happens that kind of like starts at a low frequency and just goes up. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And that's part of the key of opening these other little dimensions and stuff. Anyway, I don't want to spoil anything. Go check it out. It's definitely entertaining. But the frequencies, that just seems to be the key.
The first time I ever heard of like sound doing things, it was from, remember the children's show from Disney called DuckTales?
Oh, well, yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was Tailspin.
Oh, okay. No,
The other
that
one.
I didn't watch.
Yeah, it was a Disney one. Yeah, you were kind of young for that. Quentin wasn't around yet, so I don't expect you to watch that
Right,
one.
yeah.
That was,
I
yeah.
missed that one.
But in one of them, they had this archaeologist lady with them who specialized in music, in tones and frequencies, and she had all these what was it, like, I think it was just a glass, and she would fill it with different amounts of liquid to change the tone. But she was opening up the doors of this ancient temple because she knew how to read the stuff and knew how to make these noises the right thing. Yeah, it was so, I'll always remember that. I don't know why.
Like the Goonies. Didn't they have to play the
play
piano,
the bones?
Right? Because if they didn't get it right, then we'll all be flat.
Sean Astin's best joke ever.
Which was also a sound I've always wanted to cut out and use on my soundboard. Then we'll all be flat.
Mikey.
Hell is, I know it's, Scream's all about the alien agenda and the space agenda, but the music was so integral to Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Just, I mean, not just him being so keyed into this musical sequence and it actually tying into these geological reference points and map coordinates and just all of that. Yeah. And then the Zoltan hand signs that they keyed into it. Yeah. That would be it. I was stalling as long as I could.
I didn't want to interrupt you, so I was going to let you talk for as long as I could.
Well, yeah, I mean, sound and frequency controlling everything is nothing new, this idea. I mean, just look to the Bible. God spoke upon the waters.
and
Yeah.
created everything
Exactly.
with his voice, with vibrations and frequencies. This is how the ancients
In the
understood it.
beginning was the Word.
Or a series of
uni-
words.
Is the New
Verse.
Testament
Yeah.
version of it.
A universe.
The single verse of words that spoke the universe into existence.
I hope it doesn't stop. He doesn't stop singing anytime soon. Because I kind of enjoy this place. I know there's a lot of people that would disagree with me. Yeah, well,
No, I dig
it
it the
is.
most.
Yeah, it is what you make it. Really. I mean, I love this place. It's beautiful. I don't know what's out there. I'm gonna find out one day. Not, scared or anything like that, but I mean, the sun comes around. There's, we have everything we need here right now. I don't know. This is a beautiful place. If this is hell,
It's not. It's not. It's only a prison planet too. If you make it into when it's a playpen, you can do with it as you want. You
Right.
can learn, you can grow up, or you can turn it into a cage. That's your choice. That's on you. Sorry, just a thought.
No, that's a beautiful thought. Amen. Schauberger, I was thinking about him even as you typed it, Mr. Will. Absolutely. I have some of his little drawings saved away here in a folder. We won't go looking for them.
I think I'm gonna save up for doing the star in the jar.
What's that going to require? What level of shit do you have to have for that to make it work?
Well, if I build it myself, see, I still need like an oscilloscope, and it's not just the material to make the star in the jar. You need some toys to go along with it. There's the acoustic something or other. Yeah, there's a few, but
Oh,
I'd be
but the
able
other
to do
things we
some
could,
things
lots
with
of
it.
things.
Yeah, lots of things we can do. It won't just be the star in the jar. We'll be able to make the sheets with all the different shapes on it when we change frequencies to it.
Cymatic patterns and that we can grab in a little bit of this stuff
really get stuff going. But yeah, all together just to do the star in the jar. And this was like maybe 4 months ago. And to buy like the kit to do it, it was like $420 something, right around there. And I wanted to do it for Flattoberfest. No, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I thought it would be, right? Absolutely.
But I think I can do it for a lot cheaper than that. I think I can build my own. But I'd love to show people. I'd love to just do it. I want to see it.
Just do it and see it.
Yeah, because people are saying they can make different color stars, depends on what frequencies they're using.
Of course. What else would it
amounts
be?
and
I mean, come on.
dude.
We see it with the P900. We see it with a good scope. I mean, we see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gone down the Schauberger hole here. I just found the rotor and thought about your.
Can I address somebody in the chat while you guys are thinking?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll show you what I'm looking at.
Tomanoid 2. Okay, when you're talking about, you have it exactly right, where they took it to 6. That's called hexing. That's called casting a spell. It's spell casting when you take 7 down to 6. That is a hex or a spell casting. They did that with music. They somanized music and did exactly what you're talking about to it. Go back historically. You'll also see hexing and changing from 7 to 6 or spell casting. When you look at the rainbow and you notice the 7 colors of the rainbow, and then if you look at the rainbow flag and they changed it to 6 colors, you'll notice that on any of the LBGT flags or any of the stuff that they put up there, your rainbow has lost indigo. It's no longer there. This is common in history, and as soon as look for on that octave and this sharp eye on catching the hex, what they did was they did hex it and they did cast a spell on our music, but that is not how it is in nature. Look up historical. I want you to go into the word gamut that I sent you and look up historical use and look up the definition, look up the etymology, and look up the historical use, and you'll start to see how they hex the music. Great point. Does that answer your question? Type in yes if it does. He jumped in halfway on the chat, and he had a very good point, and so I just want to make sure that it's addressed because those are the questions I'd like to see. That was a good one. Did he leave? Did I scare Tominoid away? Tominoid, come back.
No. I think he's.
And it takes a second because
it takes a second because of the delay.
Yeah.
And go back to Zach, what you were doing with it, because it was so good. And I interrupted, but I have the attention span of an ant right now because I'm tired. Don't know why
I
my
know
question.
where you are, Boo. Trust me,
Okay.
I'm so struggling.
Tom always says, I don't know what my question was, but yes, your question was that. Hold on, because I thought it was like really good, Tominoid. Octaves ain't even, and it depends on the scale and the mode. If you're talking about intervals, hold on, he goes and he keeps checking. That was a bad comment with the no alien. It was just a brain tumor with Jaws, but he did say something about hexing and them being 6 of them hexing. Okay, came in just halfway, heard the octave part, which tone scale only in modern theory, I think, but there's only 6 notes. That's hexing. That is hexing your scale. Just 6 notes as opposed to 7 is no different than 6 colors in the rainbow. Compared to 7, they were all there. That is spellcasting, and that is pay attention. Pay attention whenever you see them do it. The messages they're portraying and what they're putting, because that is a definite form of hex. It's a hex. What can I say? It is a hex to hex it.
I'm a hexacan. Just saying.
I like that.
Oh man.
I know.
You guys talking about being tired, making me tired. No, I haven't been sleeping well. I think I got my first 3 hours. I had a normal dream today. And I was like, wow, that was an actual dream where I wasn't miserable. And, because when you have an annoying itch and you're trying to sleep, you almost dream about something like poking you or something like that right there.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, this was the first time that in a week where I didn't have some annoying thing itching me in my dreams. And I was flat smacking somebody in my dream. I remember it. Yeah, that's it.
The craziest one of those I ever had, I went to go back home, visit mom. This has been years ago, 20 plus years ago, 30 probably. And sleeping in the old room that was Paul's old room before he'd moved out to Oregon. And it had a waterbed in it. And I went to sleep in it, thinking everything was normal, went to sleep, blah, 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 blah. Whoa, dude, I had the most horrible nightmares about being chased by people with lighters trying to burn me, people with pokers trying to poke me, people with lit cigarettes accidentally hit me with them. I'm like, I woke up 2 or 3 times trying to figure out why am I having these dreams. I finally realized that where the water level was, if I rolled over to the side of the bed over there, it would push the water over enough to where I was literally laying on the heater in there, and it was doing that. It was making me have all these dreams about stuff chasing me to try to burn me up. And I did get a little red spot, but it just was, enough to do that. It really wasn't hurting me.
Yeah, dreams are weird. They are.
There's energy weirdness. I mean, you guys just had a whole influx of energy, an outpouring of energy, recovering from that. That's part of it. But in the general world, I noticed in chat this morning a lot of discussion about just things being a little weird off, in the sleep time. And then my issue here has been more Michelle is just going through a lot of problems with her back lately between weather change and just things at work, stress, etc. She's the one who has really not been sleeping, which means I don't get sleep because she's tossing and turning. And so we both have been having some rough sleep time for sure. But it hasn't really felt like an attack in any way. Like normally there's no doubt I know when that's happening. This feels more like maybe just part of that moon that happened not too long ago and a cycle we're in with some kind of super big energy shift or
We're
I don't
supposed to be
know.
having another blood moon
Oh, well, that's gotta
eclipse.
be it. That's gotta be it.
The first one ever on voting day. Yeah, this would be the first midterm election ever held on a blood moon eclipse. They made a big thing about it in space.com. I almost can't even talk about NASA anymore.
What are we looking at?
Are you ready?
Is
Are
Is
you
that
ready for this?
the new
this the
jack-o'-lantern?
new
This is going to be our new
Halloween moon?
jack-o'-lantern this year. I just pulled it off the spaceweather.com and they'll do another one on it. But it's October. It's time for our jack-o'-lantern. It's starting to come into action. So I thought this is from spaceweather.com and showing our coronal holes. But I thought y'all would get a kick of our jack-o'-lantern this year. It kind of looks like an owl or a jack-o'-lantern. I don't know. But I just thought when you're saying the weird stuff going on, space weather, weird stuff is going on. And again, they're prepping us for our neat jack-o'-lantern. Halloween is coming.
Now, could you have AI pull images out of that?
Sure.
Will AI like work in reverse, Josh? Instead of giving it things? Because you know how NASA likes to take pictures and hide them inside of pictures and this and that, and like the elite have been doing it forever. You go to the old children books, the old ones from like the 1850s where they have all the dot drawings. You go and look at that stuff with a microscope and it's like demons with looks like people with fire in the background, and these are all in picture books for children. And in real tiny dots, you'll see all these crazy images when you invert it and look upside down. Yeah, just insane. You've never heard of this?
No, I ran to get this book I picked up today. Tell me more and send me a link because, I need to know about that.
Yeah, I went to go look for the images of the children's books, and they were so hard to find on the internet now. But yeah, I'll try to find that. That was years ago when I saw that. The moon.
Yeah, this I got today at like a little new place that opened in town. Me and Michelle went and check it out. This is from 1961, I believe is what I saw.
What?
It is so great.
Fabulous.
Yeah, copyright 1959, 1960.
Oh, it's good stuff right there. It's going to be good, and that's great material.
It is so epic. I'm so excited.
Oh, I have to show a book too now. I'm so selfish.
Yeah, yours is better than this one. Yours is really amazing. But there was something in here I saw. I just find.
No, that's going to be amazing. I'm going to like your timeline.
Yeah, here we
love
go.
This.
In the far distant future, the moon will swing back to Earth and disintegrate. Wait, that was back in the 50s. That's what they were telling us. But now the moon's
getting closer or going away. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I kept seeing just humdingers like that every now and again. Stuff that we obviously have been told different since these books came out. Yeah, there's some great stuff in here. Anyway, go ahead.
That's nice, Walter.
Okay, I'm going to. I think that's just putting me on camera. Let's see if I can do this and not mess it up. Start video. Because I have a book to show too. Can you see it? Because I cannot see what I'm displaying.
It's very dark.
Okay. I could get a flashlight and put a flashlight on it and maybe make it brighter.
No, I can see it. Oh.
Can you read it? Read it out loud. I can't.
How does the moon make phases over the flat Earth? You move.
Okay.
You psych me out.
Okay.
Written and illustrated by Sylvia Halpert with Cammy No Doubt. I know that shit.
This is a complete children's book, and I mean, it is a good one. Oops, I don't know what that one is going, but I'm going to just open some pages. We've spent since the last Flattoberfest going over the physics and the different pieces on it, and she has put together for a children's book like placements where you can sit. Again, this is so good. I wish I could get it in focus for you. But it's a. I'm not in real time doing it. I mean, it is. Go to Sylvia Halpert.
I was going to ask where to get it.
Sylvia Halpert. How does the moon make faces? I don't know if it's on Amazon or will be through publishers, but we will find it. She sold. I know that she was doing it at the conferences, and I know that she puts a lot of children's books and materials together for people homeschooling and that. It's a nice, great book. I'm really proud to be a part of it. I couldn't be more honored. Boy, my mouth looks black. That's weird. Do. Oh, I have a UV light on. Okay, but oh, that's you doing it, Josh, and your filters. But again, I wanted to show because even though I'm not a writer, somebody was listening and took my stuff and made a book out of it. And I'm hoping kids enjoy it. She wants to do more. She has a whole bunch of different ideas and books laid out for all kinds of different things. So let us know feedback if your children like it, if you think it's a great thing or a bad thing. But this is just, it's a possibility, but it's a possibility that works in reality without creating any new physics, black holes, gravity, or anything that's not there.
Jules Verne books, Walt. Sorry, Cammy. It
No
just
problem.
hit me. The old Jules Verne books.
Okay.
All the images, they're all done in those dots. You know how they used to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you take like a magnifying glass and you got real close up into those dots made up other pictures as well that you couldn't, the diffraction limit was smaller than the human eye could resolve. So you just saw what looked like shading almost. But when you actually went in and looked at it, there were images hidden inside of all those pictures. Yeah, the old Jules Verne books.
Nice. We will have to find out. We will get them more information from Sylvia Halpert. I know you can go. She has a website, Sylvia Halpert, and I know that you can order it online from her. And I'm sure she has different ways to distribute it. I'm so busy with the tech stuff from with her. I let her take care of the rest, and I do need to learn about it. But I really, really here, I'll show you a picture of the two of us together before I cut out on it. See if I can make this go up. I don't know where I am, but I should be showing you guys a picture of me and Sylvia.
Yeah, Sylvia was very sweet. Go down a little bit more. Down. Right there. There you go.
All right. And you wonder where
Yeah.
I'm not up on stage. There you go.
Yeah, she was very
By the book, she's a sweetheart. Loved working with her.
and she just donated some books to our table and we donated them out. Yeah, if the
I
children
think I
fell in
saw
love
on
with
that
them.
bottom of that page you were just showing either an email address or maybe an Etsy page. Would you show that to us again?
Sure.
So everybody can get a hand
Oh,
on
there
it.
is an Etsy thing on it. Okay, tell me. I can't see.
You be still right there. That's perfect. You were dead on it. Scrollhouse at Etsy.com. SCROLLHOUSE at etsy.com. Nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I didn't type that or write that down, so now I can't go type it and find it because my memory is gone. It's too
And
late.
she and Cammie had so many conversations and back and forths about this book.
The whole
I mean,
year.
it could have been like 100 pages.
In fact, it was like it was 100 to we cut it down we'll break it up for it. We cut it down into little pieces, and then she's branching off and wants to do more books. She says from here we have enough information to do like 3 or 4 without adding the things that she wants to do. So again, I love it, people putting out with the children's books and comprehensive material that again, ways to learn how things could really work in reality and get the children thinking and get them adding to it and doing the research. So Bill will sound expensive. I don't think it's going to be an expensive book unless you guys are talking about CBD oil, because the book she's putting it in as many children's hands as possible.
Yeah, no, they're
She's
talking
got a
about
big heart.
oils.
Okay. It's like that's not her style to make it as expensive as possible. She cares. She's a really neat person.
Yeah, just a sweetheart.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. How are you guys
Before I
feeling?
forget, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go.
Before I forget, I did find very similar to what we had. It's smaller. The one I had back then was, like I said, big enough for him to stand against it on a wall, and I was able to trace around him. That's how big it was. That was early days with this, and they make stuff smaller, so you got to pay more for them or whatever. But this is not a terrible version of the draw on the light plasticky film thing, and from there you can find bigger sheets. But I'll drop it here in our chat, in the show chat. Sorry, and I will drop it on the YouTube chat as well, so you guys can play with it as well. All
And
right,
a big
I'm
shout
done.
out to Flat Earth Farms.
Absolutely,
You
the
should
man,
see the shirt
soul.
that Daryl gave me, dude. It
Oh,
was.
I'm jealous.
It's got the Flat Earth Farms on the front and the logo. Very
I'm
cool.
so jealous.
On the back, though, herb so strong it'll make you realize the Earth is flat.
Dude, I need that now.
It's
All
so
right, all right.
awesome.
I want an address to send some fundage. I need the shirt. I want one, sir.
It
So
is so awesome.
reach out to me, Daryl. You know how to get in touch with me.
And then
Absolutely. Speaking of that, hold on. While Daryl's in chat, I have asked you, sir, to send me the logo. You got that, and we're already on board. Now I just need you to send some of those amazing images and pictures you use for that great video so I can play around as well. I am so eager to make you some great stuff, my friend. You just don't know. I have lots of little toys to play with. So just get with me over there on Telegram. All right.
And Flat Earth Farms has their own pens and cartridges now.
Yes, I am so excited to know that.
Yeah. So if you're in the area, or I don't know if you can place orders over state lines and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure how all that works. But yeah, what Daryl's doing there is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all with love. And like Cammie and I were saying, she was just giving out her stuff. And it was all coming back. So Daryl has so much coming back.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
An angel walking the earth, truly.
I don't know how many people I told that to. When he would be walking by, I'd be like, that man right there, that's the only saint I've ever met. I mean that. I've never met somebody who's been so giving and just so nonchalant about it. He doesn't hold his head, higher around people like he's better than anybody because of what he does for so many people. It's
Dude, you
not
can just
why
see
he
the
does it.
love in every picture I've seen of Daryl, every video. Yeah, you can just see the love shining out of that guy's eyes. So, and if there's anybody who
Oh, and he
lives
says,
it
yes, you
and
can
walks the
place
walk,
all the orders you want.
I just put a. Yeah, hang on.
Flat Earth Farms, folks. Place all the orders you want. He'll get it to you.
All right, there's a link in chat for you, Bill. Will, a little more information about RSO and some of the great things it has done. Its origin story, if you will, Mr. Rick Simpson, Run from the Cure, an amazing documentary. If you haven't ever actually watched it, if you've just been going off the anecdotal evidence and things we talk about here and things like that, seeing how this all came into existence with this gentleman's story is really inspiring. So definitely check it out. I dropped the link there. I'll drop it here in our chat as well.
He's got a 4-point buck staring at him. Well, listening to our conversation.
Oh, that's great. Dude, that's such a beautiful place. Hearing Mike talk about it, THC, Mike talking about being out there and how great it was out there, Daryl. Yes, sir. I want to come out there one day and give you a hand. Absolutely. See the beautiful place you've created out there, my friend. Can't wait.
I miss seeing deer. That's one thing. I miss flat and I miss the deer. Those are two things I miss about being back home. Like, I have not seen a deer here yet.
I have. I've seen 3 of them,
Well,
Zach.
I've seen them in the backyard. I'm talking about
Right.
driving down the road and looking into the fields, because I do. Wherever I go, I'd rather take country roads, and I look into every field as deep as I can to see if I can see what I can see. And I have not seen any deer like out in the wild. The only ones I've seen were in our backyard.
I don't have a problem with that. I think it's very cool we have deer in our backyard. I think that's flipping. I did have deer in my backyard in Denver and Colorado. I mean, Zach, they're in our backyard. They're not on the road. They're in our yard.
No, but I mean, like at home, you saw them everywhere. You see them in
Yeah.
your yard. You see them in this field. You go down a mile, you see another herd over in this field. They were just everywhere. And here, it's not like that. I was actually looking at police reports from Stark County, Indiana. Well, not police reports, but police calls. And every day there was a 911 call for, I just hit a deer. Usually between 4 and 6 a.m. But it was like every day after that first snow. And that still amazes me. People that have been my age, people older than me, been driving their whole lives in snow. The first snow, they're all retarded. It's like they forgot. I can't do 70 miles an hour and stop like I could before. I can't turn this corner going this fast.
Right.
It's like they don't realize that stuff. It's like, you don't remember, like, just like 8-9 months ago, we had to go through all this. You don't remember that?
Yeah, that's here too, Zach. When it starts raining and people are just like,
Oh, no big deal.
tailgating each other and hauling ass, and it's like, y'all know this is like normal weather and we do this all the time. And why are y'all lost your minds? Yeah, I don't get it.
Big Pine, what snow?
Nothing. What's snow with you?
It was snowing in Denver today, Zach. Not missing it. Not missing it at all. By the way, I want to say good night, everybody, including you guys who have been on like over 3 hours on headsets. It's getting painful
Yeah,
at this
it does
point.
get old. I know. Thank you so much, lady. I love you. Love you.
I
Yeah.
love you guys. I'll
Hug
be listening
Bobo
there.
from me, for me, whatever you want to say. Just big hugs to him and Jared.
Will do and listen in the background. But yeah, I've got to pull off now.
Yeah,
Thank you
we're
for
about to
having
get
me
out
on. I
of
love you
here.
guys.
We're about
Love everybody in
having
the
you
chat.
on. You are on. You're here, lady.
I'm here. I am here, and I'll be back.
Go
Love
rest.
y'all.
We're gonna pull this thing here in a minute too. We're out.
Perfect.
Yep.
Daryl says he's going to be hosting an event at his farm in August of 2023.
I'd like to go to that one too.
Well, yeah.
try and keep me away.
Right.
Yeah. Just
It was fighting words.
hop on the airplane. Let me go get my real ID.
I'll drive.
Yeah, I still
It's a
need.
beautiful drive. It is.
I'd still need to get a real ID for that too.
Wagons, trains, west.
Yeah, ho.
Ha ha! You had to.
All right.
All right.
Shall we call it? Because
Let's call it. Love you guys.
I've only
Thank
been
you so
here
much.
about 40% since I started. So
Dude, yeah, me too. I think we all are in and out tonight. And yet it was amazing. Cammie brought it. Thank you, Cammie, so much.
it was.
Thank you, Effie
Thank
Nation.
you,
Yeah,
Effie.
again,
Everybody
Beat me
go
to
check
it.
out his
Yes.
plane in front of the moon video. He just
Oh, is
dropped
it already
there
up
in
there?
chat.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, hell, we can throw it up real quick before we leave. Why not?
Yeah, we could do
Let me
that.
do that. Oh, I can't share. I forgot.
You do it.
Cammie left with all the power.
I do it.
Well,
I'm
you
sitting
need
in
power.
front of my pewter.
Zach, so you do is it?
I go boom. I go bam.
Who
I
are
go
those?
Shazam.
Who are those yuckle chucks yapping in the background?
You hear that?
Hold on. Why do?
Whoa.
What the fuck?
That's a great fucking shot, brother.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna
Oh,
rewind
you're gonna have
that.
to
How
back
is-
it up. I'm not getting anything on. What the fuck? Sorry, this is when you know I've been up for too long. 3 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Not feeling super best is not going well. What in the absolute fuck? Now try. Stupid ass shit.
Oh, I can't even leave a comment. Damn it. All right.
Oh, there was the tail end of it. I slowed it down. Here, I'll play it at normal speed first.
I can't remember, dude. Is it a telescope you shoot with, or is that like a P900?
I think it's the P900.
Okay.
I know that's what he was using.
Oh, look, I went back on a
At
few videos. Yeah, I
Flattoberfest.
see his first attempt back with the P900.
Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna do this one here. We'll play the whole thing. Do it justice. You know. I don't know if he says anything, so we'll turn the sound on in case he shares a thought. I love the giggle right there. That's awesome.
It's a good shot of that contrail too, though.
Yeah, that was excellent, man. All the way through, that was a great shot. May I have your permission to use that as some B-roll in one of my videos, good sir? I like that shot.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's epic, man. That's a really good shot, brother. Really good stuff.
Yeah, he got some.
I told him Walt was hoping someone could get a little
I
video
know that dude.
of it. And
I think we're doing video inception right now, I believe.
Yeah.
Deception.
It just got shocked.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it was early, and yeah, we went over a couple of things.
Yeah, shooting the moon is hard.
You got some really good. I was about to say, dude, you got some really good moon stuff on this channel. I don't dig enough in anybody's anymore like I should. But yeah, guys, if you haven't gone over there, go check out some of these shots. Really good stuff.
Don't you be levitating before long?
What's that dude fucking talking about?
Yeah, that's what scares me.
What scares me is I'm going to be levitating before long.
Right, it's coming. All right, guys. Love y'all. Thank y'all so much. We'll try to get back on the show like a real one next week or soon thereafter.
I want to see this real slow.
I may actually start putting some requests out there.
Right. But yeah, great footage, man. Oh, wait, we're going to see it slow.
I don't know where it's at.
It's right at the beginning, literally.
Let me find the exact. Okay, there we go.
Right there.
Wow, look at that trail, what it does. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Yeah, this was a really good shot. And look how well the camera picked it up. I mean, he's focused on the moon, and the plane doesn't look that blurry. I think you can
You
even
know,
see
I
a
was just
light.
working that out in my head too, Zach. I was just working that out in my head. I'm like, well, you know, it's pretty crispy on that moon, and when that plane goes by, it's pretty fucking crispy.
I love how it looks like it's behind water.
32,000.
Why can't I see the China?
330,000 miles. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, you went back.
Just
It's at
missed
6.
it.
It's
Did
at
I?
6. It's at 6.
Oh,
Stop.
it's
At
6?
6. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
That
Nice.
contrast.
Oh, yep. And then there's a blink. Did you see the blink?
Whoa. Yeah, go back.
Boop, one there, and then a big one. Boop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go back again, though.
I
'cause-
know. Do they look like they're different widths apart? Watch
No,
the first.
now I'm watching the moon edge. Watch the moon edge. I know it's atmospheric, but just watch.
That was crazy when the plane first crossed it.
Yeah, it's almost like
It wobbled and blipped and blurped.
Yeah, like water, like you said, Zach. Holy shit.
Whoa,
Yeah, that.
what
Right.
the
You see
hell?
that? Yeah, exactly. What the hell?
Why did it do that?
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Whoa, that's
Pretty
cool.
nuts. Pretty nuts.
I want to slow it down more.
I know more. That's what I was just thinking. Do a screen capture of this video in 25% and then slow that down.
Oh,
25%.
I just missed it. And then it got dark there after that. Now. Oh, I just missed it again.
Wow, that's easy. Like
Okay.
reaches out and grabs it
Yeah.
visually.
And it does it again when the wings go
At
by.
the back, yeah, and then out the back, it lets it go. It's great.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. 3 times.
Crazy, crazy.
I don't get it. Awesome catch, man.
Yeah, really amazing, dude. Glad we could
Well
do that.
done.
Thank
Well
you.
done, brother. Thank you for letting us share that. See, it's just everybody.
I see a lot of ideas going through.
Yeah, look, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy, try airplane mode.
People are going to be pulling that video apart now. They're going to be like, what is going on here? Awesome stuff. All right. Love y'all.
Thank y'all so much. We will see y'all Tuesday morning.
We will. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry it's been such a low energy type show, but it's been one of them low energy type days. But it has been much appreciated for all y'all that come out to hang out with us on these Friday nights. And we will be back next week, God willing. But I have no idea for what. Or we'll be back here on the morning times on Tuesdays and Fridays for the Ironworx. TruthFrequencyRadio.com, DFRLive.com, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Central. Ooh, that's early time. Makes the Fridays long, but I love you. Shout out to Liz, the Iron Maiden, for staying up this late. We love you, lady.
Party animal.
Party animal, isn't she? Christ, she's got more energy than I do.
And the time is about to change next week, I believe she said this morning in chat.
Shit.
So it's about to get complicated for her. We'll start going an hour earlier here, maybe at 5, instead of sitting here for 45 minutes. We'll see what happens, Liz. I'll crack that whip.